What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Trackside in the building for another fine edition of Monsters of the Madhouse on this Thursday night, where I'm just gonna take a hostile takeover in Pinky's building. I just stepped right in the middle of everything, and I just let's go. But I got on my left, I got BJ. To the right, I got Q. I got Griff Dog. I got Eric Rogers down in the middle, and on deck from Nomad Nation, we've got my man Keith, man. Not to be confused with Keith Sweat. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, fellas. Thank you for having me this evening. Thank you.
I'm blessed to have all this talent around me, man. Y'all gonna make my job easy tonight, bro. No wonder Pinky likes Thursdays. Let's go.
Hey, let's
Let's
do it.
get it, baby. Let's get it.
I'm ready.
So,
Oh,
man, I'll tell you what, I was really excited about that press conference, not just because Eberflus had that really nice beard, that nice lineup, because he went from like goofy, dorky dad to like cool, calm, collective,
he is.
uncle, like what you call it said, cooler than the other side of the pillow, he looked really good out there, and it was nice to see some of our new, coaches and round it up and finally get all that metabolized. And now we get to break it down. And real quick, we'll start off with you, Keith, since you're the guest of honor. What was your take from the whole deal, man?
First of all, I got a new nickname for Flus. It's Flexi Flus.
Flexi
Cause
Blues.
yeah, he was flexing today, man. I
He
just felt like
was.
he was just loose, man. It was a different vibe from him, which I was excited about it to see. To be honest with you,
Okay.
but what I took away from both interviews, first of all, I'm ecstatic about the hire of Eric Washington. I think he's gonna bring so much to that defense, man. We're going to see some things out of our defense, especially that defensive line that we have not seen in a very long time. If you followed him back over at Buffalo, his defensive line, man, used to wreck shop. So I think we got some really big things going on, and it's also cool the fact that this is actually his second stint coaching for the Bears. So I think this time around, he brings a whole different vibe and energy, and the fact that he doesn't have to worry about really calling plays this particular season and can really focus on really just being a D coordinator and getting things lined up and getting everything going. I think we're in for a very exciting time on the defensive side. And then I'm just Shane Waldron, man. I can't say anything other than the fact that um, after this season coming up, I think we might be calling him the quarterback whisperer because, in my opinion, and you see what shirt I'm wearing, that's going to be our QB1. And I really believe, man, that he's going to do some things. He's going to unlock some things within fields that we haven't had a chance to see simply because, man, he just, we know he got drafted into a crap show. I'm going to keep my language correct. But I think that this is the season that things get unlocked for Justin.
Well, Keith, I will tell you this much. During the whole presser, everybody basically avoided and never broached the Justin Fields situation. And you've already managed to do that at least 6 times within the first 4 minutes. So
Man, ain't
I
no
know
shame
I
in
know
my
where your
game.
heart is, baby. I know where your heart is, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's all good, man. You're in good. Hey, you see the guy right behind me, right? You see
Yeah.
that guy on the what do you call it, on the wallpaper? You see who's got that cannon on? That's QB1, baby. So yeah, man, I did like it, and it was really good. It had a really good vibe to it. It was cool. I enjoyed sitting back watching. I'm not gonna lie to you. The whole time I was kind of wondering if somebody was just gonna come in and drop it, and let us know what the dealio is, because of after Fields coming on, 33rd team and breaking it down with the Brown brothers, I thought for sure that would be the perfect time to go ahead and drop it like it's hot in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that, Griff?
Man, as far as the interview go,
Yeah,
man, man, like Keith was saying, man, he was exuding some confidence for sure.
yeah,
Eberflus was, man. He been in Chicago for a couple years now, man. They got him lined up finally. He looking good. And he's talking confident. He's talking confident, and I want to address what Keith said about the Eric Washington. But we got him now. I mean, I like
yeah,
that. That's one of my favorite pickups because, like, that guy, his D line plays hard. That's for certain. He understands the lay of the land. He's been in Chicago before. While he was
Yes.
in Chicago, we had one of the better D lines that was here, so he understands what it takes. So I mean, I'm loving the whole thing that's coming together right now, and I definitely agree with you about the QB1 situation.
Yeah, well, thanks for adding that, and I agree with you. I'm excited about that defensive. Hey, he said that we are going to have the leading pass rush in the NFL. He came
Yes,
right out
sir.
Hey,
swinging,
he got
for
it.
the fences,
He,
man.
hey,
No
You know what
fear,
I mean?
they
no
gotta
fear.
they gotta
Right.
live
No,
up
I
to it
mean
now.
he
They
he
gotta live
swung
up
he
to
swung
it.
for the fences, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, and he's following suit because he knows Daddy Poles. When he come in, he says we're going to take the North. He just didn't say
Yep.
that we were at the furthest southern part of Texas, and we got to go all the way up to Canada, to make it happen. Is that yeah, that's all the way further south, all the way north. So, but what about you, BJ? What was your takeaways? What did you like, bro?
So everything sounds good. Everything sounds good. Everything that came out of his mouth, came out of everybody's mouth, sounds good. I want to see action. So if they can put their mouth to action, I will be satisfied because they all talk a good game.
Yeah.
They
Mm-hmm.
always talk a good game, but
Yeah.
until it actually comes, until we actually see it on the field, it's just all lip service to me.
Mm. Well, what's the one thing that you like the most that was said?
You know what? I mean, when I watch it, I kind of watch it with, you know, like, okay, yeah, okay.
Bated
I mean,
breath,
I
huh?
wasn't, yeah, I wasn't necessarily um taking it in like, oh, this is it. This is going to finally be the year. I was thinking, okay, well, you're talking big, you're talking what I want to hear, but I want to see it. So for me, it's not so much what they said and what it's more so I want to see it in action.
Mhm.
So
And I
so
Yeah, you know what, and I agree with you. I do want to see action. You remind me of that lady. Like she's like on the a set, or she's dropping that. She's like in her 40s. She's on like her third or fourth marriage, and she's heard all the smooth lines, and she's tired of dating all the fellas.
Yeah.
oh
And
yeah,
she,
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
You want to see
you
action? I feel that.
you're like from the show me state. You're from Missouri. Like show me, let me
but,
see
but
it.
but also to piggyback on that, what Ibrahim saying that they're going to have the best defensive line out there. That wasn't Ibrahim. Was that Ibrahim that said that? Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, it was. It
yeah.
was. He said
So
that.
so to have the best defensive line, we're still missing some key players on the defensive line. So until
Yeah.
we fill those holes, until we know who's going to be
That's
there,
COVID, baby.
I don't know. I don't know how we can even say that just yet.
Well, and to your point, he was also talking about him being able to, because that I'll tell you what, the PR team had Waldron well prepared because
Yes,
they
they
were
did.
trying to get him to leak some stuff, and he wasn't having it,
Yes,
man.
they did.
He
He was
was
so
dialed
No.
adamant.
in. He read a bunch of books from Belichick or something, man. He had to keep
Yeah.
No, no, you saw. Hey, you
Yeah,
guys
he
should have
stood
waited
his
until after the
ground.
press conference because the guy went. It was Walter turned. The guy went up and grabbed all the papers off the stand and was like, "Nobody reading these. Nope, we can throw these things away." So they made sure they did. They made sure he ain't let nothing go. There was a guy standing there, like if you looked in the corner, there was a guy standing there ready to hop up and grab him if he's about to say something. Be like, "Nope, we're good. Like we ain't really talk no more." Like they had him. They had them all. They had all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually you don't go in there with something to read. You saw him peer down a lot. He has something to read, which I'm a lot of people are like, well, they're trying to micromanage him. No, they're not micromanaging somebody. They don't want to let open the floodgates to something that shouldn't be said right away because they don't
Yeah.
because a lot of the people don't know what's actually going to happen.
Yeah.
So I mean, good job on the PR team by trying to keep it in house and not let we all know what we wanted to hear, right? We there's tons of things we wanted to hear. We wanted to hear them say Justin's our guy and we're going after this. We all wanted to hear that, but PR team was like, nope, we're gonna keep it
Oh, you
simple.
know they wasn't going to say anything about
Yeah,
that. They were.
they
No,
Oh
yeah,
no.
they were
I
very
expected them to be very
right.
coy,
Yeah,
because they can't show their hand, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I expect them to
Can't
be
do that.
very coy. But I mean, I give Waldron some credit because my man played dodgeball really well. He was ducking and moving. Yeah, he ducked that real good.
They
Yeah.
asked him some questions, and
He
there
was
was
like
one time
Neo
they
out
asked
there,
him a
huh?
question, and dude peered down at the paper for like a minute. Was like, okay, where was this question they gonna ask me on this thing? I'm not about to give him a real answer. This man
Yeah.
was looking down there like, nope, you ain't gonna catch me off guard. Bah, point 1A right there is how I answer this question.
Hey, for everybody that's watching it right now on YouTube, thank you so much for joining with us tonight on Thursday night. It's great to have you. If you can, please click that like button, be a friend, tell a friend, and tell everybody where to find our great content, the Chicago Sports Podcast, and these wonderful gentlemen around us. Let's go ahead and get a couple people's reactions out here. Hey Keith from Brian Hendren, you're a good road. You travel well, Keith.
Some of my no maniacs are in the house. Thank you, my no maniacs.
No, maniac. Cheryl, hey guys, how you doing?
Cheryl, always with the update, Cheryl.
Hey Bears fans. Yeah, Cheryl just said in the second quarter, Celtics 38-33 Bulls. I just found out something. I'll share a little something with you that you probably already know. Freaking wizard Eric over there. The Celtics are dropping like 45. I think it was like a league high 45 ish, somewhere around there. 3 pointers a game. That's a
Yep.
lot. That's a
God
lot.
damn.
You
But
know what I
see,
mean? 40.
that
They
killed
shooting
them
that much?
last year, though, man. They
Yeah, but
gotta
they
they
the
gotta they
play when
gotta
it came
scale
to the
back.
playoffs.
That
That's
killed
the
them
thing.
last year,
That thing they went to the playoffs thinking they were going to be able to do that, and that's
That don't
not.
sound
Everybody
like
was like,
good.
okay, well, you guys can't score in the
man.
paint, so
That
we
don't
just
sound
Yeah,
like
they
good
we
did
just
it
block
well.
basketball to
out
They
three
me.
did
point
it
line.
well in the regular season, but in the playoffs, they weren't hitting no shots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
But
You're
bro,
gonna,
I
you're
ain't
gonna have
really
to work
slick
the
at math,
inside.
and 43 times 3 is 120, right?
yeah,
So I adding
it's
ain't
crazy.
adding right now. I don't know what's
No,
going on.
I
That's a
don't.
lot of
Hey,
threes.
there's no
I
way they're hitting 120
That's
each
that's the
game,
new
bro.
NBA.
I don't know, but freaking Jason
Maybe
Tatum
it's
take at least
attempts. Maybe
12,
it's
so
attempts.
there's 12 of them
Right.
things right there.
Yeah. Maybe it's attempts, Griff. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's got
gotta
to be
be.
attempts because
That ain't gonna
right
work
now I'm
out
watching the
for
game and it looks like attempts because I ain't hitting shit. So,
him.
so they can have all that. They can shoot all that. I'm good. So
James Childers says, I'm stoked the Bears will make some noise in the division. He loves the direction that the Bears are going, and there's no doubt the Bears will dominate. I mean, honestly, let's cut to
Hope
the
so.
let's cut through the crap though, man. I mean, really, we're in a really good situation, boys. We're talking about we're going from we've got a good quarterback, and potentially we might go, okay, we all feel about Fields, but let's play devil's advocate. Regardless of what happens, the man that's going to make the decision is Poles, and in Poles we trust. So when he goes out and he snipes, if he goes and gets that QB, we're going to feel really good about it, and we're going to be about it and respect who's that
Speak
around
for
under center.
yourself.
What's that?
I said, speak
speak
for
for yourself.
yourself.
I mean,
Oh, okay.
No,
I mean,
I'm
I
just
mean,
playing, man. I'm just
I,
Yeah,
playing.
I mean, you're
yeah.
right. I mean, you're right to an extent, but like these fools go out and I mean, these fools go out and say, "Hey, we're gonna trade you, and we're gonna go pick up freaking Mac Jones or some shit." You gonna see us
Well,
riot.
yeah.
Okay,
That's not
that's
happening.
one thing we're not gonna be happy
But
with.
that's not far fetched. That's not far fetched from the Bears.
Not
They would
nothing.
do some stuff like that.
If
I
they
don't know.
if they
Hold
get
on.
Mac if they
I don't
they
know
get
about
Mac
this
if they
new
get Max
Bears. I don't
Jones,
know
they
if they
better
doing
not build
something
that
like
new
Look,
that.
stadium until he's gone.
look, man. I'm a step in here as the elder statesman. I might
Thank
not look
you.
it. I may not look it, but I'm 59 years of age. So I've been a Bears fan.
Whoa.
I've been a Bears fan since
Nice.
1970. Okay,
Okay,
so
okay.
I've I
Nice.
have I have seen the worst of the worst. Okay, trust me when I tell you, this is the very first time in team history that we've ever had a front office and staff that reflects a complete professional organization.
Oh yeah.
The
Okay,
Oh yeah.
very
okay.
first time. So
Yeah.
trust me when I tell you,
Yeah.
Poles, Poles know what he's doing, man. And the thing that I like most is the fact that I don't think he's going to allow anyone, whether it's the media, whether it's the talking heads, persuade him or move him off his square in regards to what he believes in. You know, this guy has told us out the gate how he was going to build this team. He has stood firm on that,
Right.
and he's not wavering, man. He's not wavering.
And
So,
Keith, to your point, he's not going to waver off of what his vision is, not what
absolutely,
Yeah.
I
not
know.
what our history is. And
absolutely. It's
our history is not going to define who he is, because when he
it's
came out
done.
day one, he looked right at the man, right in his face, and he says, "Listen, you want me to be the guy? Let me do my freaking job." And it
And
starts with this. I
and I
want to go
agree.
add somebody to the Bears. The first ever in the history of ever, I want an assistant general manager, and I'm going to go out and get
Yep.
my boy Ian Cunningham
Yep.
that everybody wants on their team as the head
Yeah.
GM up in the MF building, and we
That's the
still
second
hold
voice.
on to him to this day, bro. That is change.
I mean,
Yes.
we said this on our
Second
last
voice.
podcast, man. Everybody want to sit there and want the fan pick. Poles ain't about to listen. I mean, Poles love his fans, but he's a business guy.
Yeah.
He make business decisions. And I
Yeah.
alluded to Eddie Jackson. He make business decisions. That was
Yes.
a fan favorite. Everybody was heartbroken to see him go. And I think
Yeah.
Poles was heartbroken to see him go, but he's
Yep.
business.
Who, Eddie Jackson?
Sorry,
But,
You
homie.
but
said
you know
Eddie
what
Not
though?
Jackson?
give Rock one.
But guess
I
what?
don't know if people were happy to. I don't know if people were happy. Sad that he was gone because a lot of
I know I
people were
was.
kind of
I was
happy
on-
that Eddie
I
Jackson.
mean, I was
I
on
you
I
that
know,
think he
side.
did. I think he did Eddie a solid, man, by giving
he
him
did.
by letting him
It
go
was
as soon
time.
as he did. First and
Oh,
foremost.
yeah,
But think about this really quick, guys, and I'm gonna hit y'all with something to think about. We have two guys in the front office who has played the game. Okay, they
Yes.
each were offensive. They Ian Cunningham and Ryan Poles both offensive linemen.
At the highest level, not no
Yeah,
UFL stuff.
and offensive
Highest
linemen
level.
are really some of your most intelligent individuals on your team.
Yeah.
So to have those guys making football decisions, and the fact that, and I really believe that he took this job because George McCaskey finally said, "I'm gonna get out of the way. The family's gonna get out of the way.
Yes.
You run this thing the way it needs to be run as a true football organization."
Yep.
100%.
Facts.
Because I
I'm
mean,
glad they
because
decided to do that.
we've been through the whole thing, man. With the whole, hey, man, let's go get someone for the fans. Let's go get someone that's gonna bring a jersey
Yeah.
sale, bro. We see how that backfired. Ain't it? Jesus Christ, man.
Well,
Like,
we already got the number one football jersey selling player on the team in Justin.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's
He's
what
number
the whole
one
thing.
in the
Everything out
league.
here is business, and people. That's why I hate talking about the draft, because everybody wants to go get the fan favorite in the draft or trade for the fan favorite, and I hate talking about it to some people because it's like, look, man, Poles ain't gonna go out there and pick the guy that's gonna sell the most jerseys because we got that guy. And we don't need that guy. We don't ain't no one
No,
care
we
about
got
that
the
guy. We
number one
don't need a guy that's
Ooh,
gonna
you
sell
just
us.
touched on something. You don't even know that. You just touched on something because there's another player that I think everybody wants the Bears to get, but I don't think he's going to be wearing a Bears uniform.
You
And
know
that's
Marvin Harrison.
and that's Marvin Harrison
You
Jr.
talking about Marv? Yep.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna
Because
be wearing one
because that pick, once we trade down the two with Washington, so Washington can go
They'll
get their
probably trade
guy.
again. They'll
That
trade
second
again.
pick gonna get traded again.
I said
either.
that. I said that.
Yeah, you did. And
But the
said
thing
that.
is, if we do
Yeah,
that,
Oh,
that
force
we would set the
multiplier. I
if we
like
did
that.
that,
Yeah.
We said that last week.
if we
We
did
trade
that,
down.
That'd be a chess move right there.
I said that.
Yep.
I said don't
That's
be
the
surprised
true
if we
haul,
now-
fellas.
Yeah.
That's where the
okay.
true haul is gonna come from.
Again.
yeah,
Ray, remember 2 weeks ago I
I
told
said
y'all
that.
that Ryan that Poles, he could trade down one spot, then trade down another one, and gonna end up with 10 draft picks in this draft.
That's
Like
what I
that.
said.
that'd be
That's
dope.
what I said.
Like I said that 2
that
weeks
would
ago.
Yeah,
that would set the team for years to come by doing it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Well, what
That
did
would
we
set
have
the team
last
for
year?
years.
We had like 5 draft picks, and we ended
And then,
up with like
like
9 or
you
something.
guys
So,
said, he'll be true
Yeah.
to his word by building through the draft. He said that day one.
That-
He said
day
he's only
one.
going to trade picks if necessary, and
Yeah.
he's done exactly that. He only traded picks when it was necessary. One, he
Yeah.
missed on, which is okay. They all miss. That was Claypool.
Bayless.
Every GM.
Oh, Claypool. Yeah,
He
Claypool.
hit
I,
He hit a
I,
home
I,
run.
I choose not to recognize him, so we don't talk. I don't talk
Well,
about
you
him.
got to, but he hit a home run with Marcus Sweat. But I like he's
Yeah.
sticking
Yeah,
to his
that-
guns,
that-
like you
that,
guys
yes.
said. He's sticking to his guns. He's sticking to his plan since day one, and I can
Absolutely.
We could actually get that pick back if we trade with Washington,
he's going to get that
Yep.
pick back.
and
Yeah.
essentially we got Sweat for free.
Yeah.
Essentially, we got it for free.
Yep.
Here's what I like about polls the most, fellas. Everybody talks so damn much this day and age that you have to keep up with them in order to remember what they said last. But with Ryan Poles, he don't talk much, but when he talks, you better pay attention because he's staying on track. A lot
Yep.
of
Yeah.
people, a lot of people waver, on the long and winding road and the broad road. He's staying on that narrow road. He knows exactly what he wants. He's going for it, and everybody, that's why they can't figure it out because everybody else is different. Everybody else is like wavering and stuff, and not Poles, man. He's like laser focused. He's got it. He's got it dialed in, man. And I really
I
think.
mean,
You know,
there's so much he can do. There's so much he can do. Like there's not like he's not. It's everybody. Everybody wants to see in a straight line. You understand that there's not a straight line here. There's a path, and there's a fork in the road that goes like 7 different ways. And he's not going to play his hand and tell you right away because playing his hand, we've seen it in years. Coaches play the hand early and say, "This is our guy." When then they get to the draft and they're like, crap, we should have got that guy instead, i.e., Patrick Mahomes, all that crap. Because everyone's such a straight line. Poles ain't gonna let you know where that fork in the road is gonna go, and that's what makes him such a good person to have this situation. Okay, because he I mean, I hate to use the word fleece, but we all know what he could do with trades. He could fleece a whole lot of teams with the path that the Bears are on right now.
Well,
man.
and to your point, Eric, I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's about how much of a knucklehead that GM was over in Carolina because he got rid of the whole team. He got rid of CMC and he got rid of freaking DJ Moore. So how smart is Poles and how dumb is that guy for getting rid of his top 2 freaking guys? I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah,
It
was a mixture of both. It was a mixture of both, man. Because I
each
really
time
think
we're about to see what this man is about, and I really think his actions speak louder than words, and that's why he doesn't say much. He just goes on and does. And I like what
you don't need to talk
said.
about it.
He
Be
said
about
that
it,
he
in
is
your
going
head.
to build out of the draft, and he's building out of the draft. I mean, he's not going to like minimize whatever we can get. And there's so many holes. Why wouldn't you go get those 10 picks that Eric Rodgers is talking
And
about?
I appreciate the fact that he said he's not overpaying players. Oh my God, we're
Right.
seeing.
Oh, he
man.
stay at that number. He do not move from that
Do
number.
he?
He disciplined with that for sure.
and you need that, man. You need that in the front office. As painful as it may seem sometimes, but you need that, man, in order to really build your team out. Once you get to a point where you're that 1 or 2 player away from getting to that Super Bowl, like the Rams did, where they just started inserting certain free agents to get them over the top, then you can pull the trigger like that and maybe overpay for a guy, but that guy's on a 1 or 2 year deal anyway. You're not giving up the farm for a guy who is an aging player who's on the back half of his career, but you done gave the farm away for that guy. Like the previous GM named Ryan, but last name Pace.
Yeah. Yeah, and now he's number 3 in command, by the way, with the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know why they paid him good money at all for anything.
He just really got a job so he can wear a suit every day, bro. That's all. He ain't making no decisions.
Shoot, the Raiders just hired Luke Getsy,
Yeah.
the worst offensive coordinator in the history of the
And
NFL.
I think he was the last offensive coordinator picked up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it wasn't too many guys available unless you were gonna go pull somebody from the college ranks.
And he wasn't
and Pierce wasn't gonna do that. So
Yeah, that's a lot of times when people want to say, well, let's go ahead and replace this guy and this guy and this guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, give me the solution. Anybody can identify the damn problem, but give me the solution. Who would you replace him with, and how can we get there? And chances are, most people don't even know if that guy's available yet. So it takes a little bit more to move off and make moves than we think. I mean, we could play Madden football all day long and say, let's go get this guy, this guy, but it don't work like that, man. I got a bunch of guys I want on the Bears, but fact of reality is Poles is in there is in his position for a reason. He knows what he's doing. I trust in him and Ian Cunningham, and I think they work really good together. And I'm really excited to see what's going to happen next because I do remember what was that? I think like 3 or 4 years ago, I was looking at a statistic, and the Packers were actually doing pretty good at that point, and they said that 35 of their guys on their roster were all drafted.
Yeah,
Homegrown drafted.
That's
The
how
yeah,
you
Green Bay
man.
build it.
Packers, man, they got the print to freaking build out of the draft, man. 35 of their guys, man.
Yeah,
That's
It's no
they do it.
shortcuts with this, man.
I mean, what
It
they
is
got
no
like seven
shortcuts.
guys on the defensive side of the ball that's first rounders,
New picks.
Yeah,
yeah,
All right,
something
No
like
brother.
that.
shortcuts,
So I
bro.
mean,
yeah,
come
something
on,
like
man.
that, Keith. Yeah,
Yeah,
And
it's
this is why I'm a big advocate of us bringing back Jalen Johnson, because that's a homegrown kid that we drafted. We helped develop. He developed it with our team.
I see
I
where you're
mean,
going with that.
And
that's what
this
it's
is
about.
where this is where too he plays a premium position, which Poe says those positions are going to
whoa,
get
Bulls got
used.
the lead, baby. Halftime. Sorry, Q.
Yeah,
Nice.
so
them
we
threes
know
is garbage.
Poles is going to spend money on premium positions, which is the corner, left tackle, the three technique is and the DN. Those are the premium position and the QB. And Poe said
Yeah,
that's why they traded
right.
Roquan, because they felt his position wasn't a premium position to
Well,
get paid all
I
that
do
money.
like what Shane Waldron has said. Shane Waldron said, I'm looking mostly, and I'm excited to build with the guys that are available here and now. That's how you know.
Mm.
That's how you know that that they're not going to go out there and just let's go grab the best guy out there in free agency. They're going to grab the guy that fits best. Which when
Yep.
you say that, most coaches will go out there. Oh, I'm be so excited if we get Shaq on. If we're so excited if I get Mike Evans, blah blah, get these players, blah blah. Shane Waldron said, I'm excited with the guys that are available here. And if the guys we're going to go get, they're going to fit here, not us have to fit for them. If you're not a fit for me and my offense, then we're not going to go out there and try and force the issue. And I think
right.
that's a big. I guess I say a big up to him, just not say, hey, I can't, we talk about going to get this guy and get this guy, and we might need this guy. He said, no, I'm going to work with my guys first, which also alludes to Justin, a lot when you say something like that.
Well, you know what, Eric, and this is to both Griff and to BJ. With regard to JJ, they don't really have any other choice but to sign him because he's the elder
Oh yeah.
statesman now of the
Oh,
defense,
yeah.
especially the secondary.
Yeah.
Now that we done lost Bojack,
Mhm.
and then to
They're
BJ
gonna
saying,
franchise him.
I don't even think they're going to franchise him, man. I really believe that they're going to come to an agreement, man. He'll probably end up around 18 mil a year.
I agree with that
You
one.
think
Yeah.
so?
I think he'll
I
probably end up
Agree.
around 18 million. They're gonna pay him, man.
You have to.
They got the money too. They just gonna
Might as well.
they all they're gonna do is front
He
load the deal,
said,
so that
yeah,
way in the
yeah.
event he gonna get most of his money guaranteed up front. So it's not gonna hurt the team down the road. So they're not gonna be kicking the can down the road. They're gonna go ahead and load it up front and get him paid. So in the event, and trust me though, they're gonna still go and draft a corner. They're going to draft a corner, but they're going to address what they need to address first and foremost is which keep that. Remember another key word that they use in the end of the season presser and throughout up to now is continuity.
Continuity.
That breeds continuity for them.
Mhm.
And then BJ, you had mentioned earlier in the segment about, hey, I need to see it first.
Yeah.
Well, I think with regard to that defensive line, don't count out Javon Dexter, man. I think that young man gonna have
No,
a
I'm not.
breakout
I'm not.
season,
I think
brother.
I think he
I
is.
think he's gonna have a
most
breakout
definitely.
season.
Yeah.
That may be that, and we've been talking about. We know we need that three technique. I think we're gonna finally have that somebody that can be disruptive in the middle of that defensive line. What we really got to go out and get, we need another edge rusher. We
Yeah.
find another
I
edge
agree.
rusher. Now
Last
on
week,
our
I'm
show,
talking
we've
about
been
last
talking
week,
about
BJ.
Daniil Hunter, man. We
I'm talking
think
about
that
last
Poles
week.
may spend some money on Daniil.
BJ, I'm talking about last week. Remember what I said last week? I said last week that was the first thing we did. And number five, after we traded, I said last week after we traded number 2, okay, we're gonna trade a number 5 for the Chargers and be able to get Bosa for little to fucking nothing and still be in the top 5 and get another guy.
I think they're going to cut Bosa, and I think Bosa's
I'm
going to
gonna
end
tell
up
you
in
now,
San
man.
Francisco.
Harbaugh ain't letting Bosa out. Bosa ain't leaving, brother.
Yeah, well, the Bosa already.
What they will do, they may cut bait with Khalil. Khalil may
Yeah.
cut bait with him, but that's
Yeah.
nobody that we're gonna look at either. I think, man, we may spend some money on Daniil Hunter,
Oh, you gonna get the deal
or
100 if he's there.
we got there's some other guys too, man. There's a few other guys that won't cost as much but can
We didn't
get
even
the
know
job
Sweat was
done.
there. Who knew knew that sweat
But
was
but
good.
that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
I
Like,
did. I've been a sweat. I've been a fan of Sweat since he came out of college. I knew he was the better
Hey,
guy over Chase
you
Young.
are a section to the rule
Yeah.
because most people on that with the Washington, they look at like Chase Young and
Oh
the
man, no, brother. I mean, I knew Chase was a man amongst boys when he was at Ohio State,
yeah,
but
he was a ball,
I knew
ball
that
hero.
was not going to translate when he got to the NFL.
No.
Well, getting back to your point about having the three technique, I had Tommy Harris on my show last week on Days, and Tommy said he actually likes our three technique. He really likes what he's coming
Oh, I
into.
do
I
too.
literally,
I think
He
he can
said
get
He
there.
needs
that
to be developed,
He just
man.
needs to,
I think
yeah.
he needs a veteran at cornerback.
I literally had a conversation with my dad like a couple of hours ago just about the same topic, and I was saying how I
I
think
said that
Dexter
last week.
came on towards the end
I
of the
think
season,
Said
Dexter's
he
gonna
and I
be
was.
think he's
great.
gonna blow up next
Man,
year.
that boy gonna be
I
a
think
Think he's
beast,
Dexter's
going.
gonna
man.
be great. You just
Yeah,
gotta
I think
run
he's
a
gonna
He
blow
veteran.
take
up.
first
I'll
step,
send you
buddy.
that interview because in that interview, Tommy goes into technique from his skill set, not from me being a fanboy or on the couch or playing Division 3 or semi-pro, but from him playing world-class three-time Pro Bowl, freaking three technique on the Chicago Bears. He spoke the truth, bro. And before that injury,
He's got good hands and good feet, man. You can't argue. And
Yeah.
As Tommy said, I'm
I mean,
believing
so
it.
here's the thing. A lot of people always think, oh, that stuff can be taught. You can't teach good hands. You can't teach good hands on the D line. That's not a thing.
technique,
You can't
technique.
teach
Or the
that.
first
That's
step. You can't teach that
having good
first step
hands
either.
on the defensive line. That is something you just either have or you don't, and then you got to try and work away with it.
And
And
you know what,
that
Eric?
kid's got good hands.
To your point, Eric, think about this, man. His footwork, what he wasn't getting off the ball good, and he was still disruptive. Just imagine he gets coached up doing OTAs in the off
Insane.
season
Coaching.
to where
Insane.
he can he can get off the ball quickly and be disruptive because he is ultra quick for his
Yeah,
size,
yeah,
man,
That first
he is.
and
second.
He
he's disruptive.
He
If
remind
he,
a lot of people are gonna say
ooh,
I'm saying this too soon, and I might be saying this too soon. But I think in a couple of years, you're looking at another version of Chris Jones. Because Chris Jones was the same damn way. He was terrible getting off the
man,
ball when he first came
I
in the
mean,
league.
that
But
was
his
his
hand,
I
call.
but his
hope
He was
hand,
so.
getting out of
I
but
hope
Chris
bounds.
Jones
so.
is, and we see Chris Jones's hands. Chris Jones' hands is nasty. You can't punch him. He's gonna get
yeah,
and he back there. You don't even know what happened.
yes,
Like
no,
that's the and I compare him to Chris Jones, but he's got to have a veteran in front of him though.
Oh,
I think he has to have a veteran in front of him with some coaching, and I think in 2-3 years he's going to be a starter. 2 years he's going to be a starter for us.
so
100%.
let's pause for a second because I like what this Facebook user says. You can definitely teach hand techniques. I will tell you this. When I came off from the Middle East, I came back from spending 4 years in the Middle East. I come back. I go over to Christopher Newport News University. I'm handing in my GI Bill over at the administration office, right? The registration office. Here comes in this guy. He goes, "Are you on the football team?" I just laughed at him. I'm like, "No, I'm here to turn in my Montgomery GI Bill." He goes, "How tall are you?" 6'6". And he goes, "How much do you weigh?" And I said 224 at the time. Right now, I'm not even close to that. I won't tell you what I am, okay? But I will tell you the only thing that I had that was good for my techniques was push-ups for my big old mouth when I was in the military, and cheeseburgers and 40-ounce beers. Okay, so my hands weren't good for nothing. But that guy put me on left tackle, and I never moved off left tackle, and I never gave up one sack ever. Did I have some raw talent? Yes. But my coach, he coached me up, and he actually taught me how to play football. Because prior to that, I swear right hand to God, I never played football except for in the streets and freaking, sandlot football. So you can be taught that because at that point in
yeah.
time, I was like 21, 22 years old, gentlemen. I wasn't no spring chicken. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I mean,
you can be taught.
you can teach hand, but there's different levels of hands. When I'm talking about that type of play, man, when people think hands, they teach swim move, rip move, things like that. I'm talking about physical.
I'm
I'm
talking
talking about
about technique.
physicality, hand quickness, placement, and being able to punch and know where to punch and be able to counter
Well,
punch. Those
you know
things.
what, Eric?
I think, yeah.
That's
I'm
all
gonna hit you with
coaching.
this, but yeah, it's coaching. But I'm gonna share this with you. So my dad is a Tai Chi master. So there is ways to teach a hand technique from a martial arts standpoint that will definitely could help a lineman.
Oh,
So I'm here to
100%.
tell you, if that young man put in the work, he's going to be very disruptive. And just listening to this young, I went back and watched his interview before the draft last year, and I
Okay.
listened to what he said. And this kid wants to be great, man. He wants to be great.
Yeah.
And I really believe that now that they have Eric Washington in the building, again, that hire is going to make the biggest difference on that defensive line. I just think, man, that this Bears defense is going to surprise some folks this coming season. And I'm gonna put it like this. And y'all remember we had this conversation. Y'all can bring me back for this. This defense is going to wreak havoc in the North by itself.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree
Definitely
with
agree
that.
with that.
They're going to
They
wreak
already
havoc
showed. They
in the
already
North,
showed
man.
signs of it this past season.
I mean,
Because
And
you
to
saw
be
the
honest,
defense last season. I mean, them linebackers came out of nowhere, but it was like, who the hell are these cats? Because
hey,
everyone,
look, I gotta show y'all. I gotta show y'all.
where we get these cats from? Because everyone's like, oh, we
I'm gonna
lost
show y'all.
Roquan. Oh, we're so screwed. And all of a
No,
sudden, these
I'm gonna
fools come
show
out of
y'all
nowhere, and they're like, yeah, we
before we
here.
signed TJ Edwards. Way before I'm gonna show y'all in the
oh,
chat.
that was a good signing.
It was a good sign. I saw that too.
I had a screenshot I posted on my Facebook. This was like December. I said the Bears need to sign TJ. I seen that miles away because he plays Chicago Bears linebacker, and I seen it. He's a talented kid. Now the TJ Edwards, I mean not TJ, Tremaine Edwards. I didn't see that, but I want to go back to the hand placement thing for a second. I agree with you to an extent, Eric, but I do think hand placement can be taught and improved on.
Oh,
The
I'm
thing
not
that
saying you can't. I'm talking about what he has right now. What he has right now, he has a skill set of hand placement stuff far beyond his years. That's what I'm saying. You don't get far beyond your years with hand placement and stuff like that. With where he's at. Yes, he had coaching, but he's got a natural raw talent to it. Is what I'm
You know what I
saying.
think that is,
Okay.
Eric? You know what I think that is? I think that's more so his first step. That's his first step is what's special to me when I watch him. Because the way he gets off the ball, he beats offensive linemen before the play even starts. A lot of time he get in the backfield. Now, if
Griff,
he can,
Griff, I got to add to you really quick because there is this big old dude. He looked like Darth Vader, 6'8", 350 pounds, big old brother, man. He had a freaking a smoked out visor, and I swear I could see like white smoke coming out of his nose, and he just and he was coming at me the whole time, man. I mean, he wanted to eat my freaking quarterback for lunch, and that was back when West Niles was hot, and I had mosquitoes all over me, and I thought I was gonna die, and I had this big old dude coming after me, man. And I looked down at halftime, and I was looking down. We played off 87th and Kedzie. And I looked down at my knees, and there was blood all over them and stuff. And I said, man, help me, Jesus. I'm going to die out on this field if I don't figure it out. And something happened when he slapped me right after halftime, and we got the ball, and I'm like, please don't win it, and then I was trying to remember. I said, did we win the toss? Did we win the toss? Oh, we're going to get the ball. Oh, no, I'm going against this guy right out the gate. I ain't ready. My composure. And he came across with this swim move like a Dan Hampton, just smacked me right in the freaking helmet, dude, and I rung my bell, and I got mad. I was like, damn it, that's it. So the next time I lined up on my three-point stance, I fired off him first like I was going to run block. And you know what it did? It knocked him on his heels, and he went back a little bit. And then he had to gain his composure, and he still come at me with that freaking bull rush. And then I hit him a little bit again, and I smiled a little bit. And he looked at me, and his head went like this, like, really? But he never touched my quarterback once. There was one time where my jersey touched my quarterback's jersey, and his hand grazed the side of my helmet, but he never, ever did that. At the end of the game, when it was all said and done, he goes, hey, what boy? And I turned around, I looked up, and he put his hand out, and I shook his hand, and I was like,
oh, you earned his respect.
Thank you for not killing me. Thank you for not killing me.
That's your first response is thank you for not killing me. You definitely know you did dodge the bullet, and you should go to church on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's your first response. You need to go to church on Sunday.
Dude, it was bad, man. I'm telling you what,
I just like the kid, man. I do. I was so high on the kid coming out of college, man. I just seen. I mean, and I'm a DB. I was a DB in college. I played running back, and of course, I'm talking about D-line stuff. I mean, now that's not me, whatever. But like playing. I've seen cats playing from far back, and you look at catching I getting in my stance, he already off the ball and in the backfield. You're like, well, I ain't gotta go nowhere. And I think eventually he's gonna be that kind of guy. And to me, I do feel a little bit of Chris Jones from him. I'm not saying it's gonna be soon. I do feel a little bit
I
like
think
that.
that was
Yeah,
his comfort. I think that
he's a
actually was his
couple
comp,
years
bro.
out, but definitely, man,
I
definitely.
feel
That was
like
his
I
that.
comp
think the
coming
kid
out of
is.
And
college.
like I said, I might be too soon about it, but the way Chris Jones was the same way when he first came. He was not the fastest dude in the league, not the quickest, but damn sure his hands would get off
Yeah,
me. Boom, I'm in the backfield like crazy. And even
yeah.
now that the footwork's there, we see what Chris Jones does. It's impeccable. You can't not say that he's not the best three tech in the league. Like I mean that's hard not to say, And I think in the say 4 or 5 years, if we can hold on to him, hopefully, I think he's gonna be there.
But you know what made Chris Jones so valuable, man, is that you can really move him up and down that D line,
Yeah, he can
man.
move and
Yeah,
or either.
He you
yeah,
can move. He
yeah.
can play so many different positions, Which again,
Yeah,
and see, we
beast.
we mentioned in Javon, but we can't forget about that boy
Pickens.
Pickens either.
Yeah,
Pickens.
Pickens.
But I'm gonna tell
Pickens
you who
good.
I think is going to be the secret weapon for us on the D line. Demarc
Robinson,
Demarcus Walker.
Walker, yeah, DeMarcus
Walker.
Walker. Yep.
Is he still with
Mm.
us?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he'll be
yeah,
Okay,
with
I
us.
he's
thought
I
it
still
was
think
a
he
here.
signed a
1 year deal.
2 year deal. I think he signed a 2 year deal. I think
He's
he
on a
did.
Yeah,
He's
three
still
year
here.
deal. He's on a
3 year
3 year
3 year
deal.
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 and
Okay,
Yeah,
and
3 year
it
deal.
was
but
well
I
paid
think I
too.
think they're going to be able to move him up and down that line some, so he can play some in, but he's really going to play on the inside, and I think he's going to eat by them moving him on the inside, putting him over the next to Billings.
And that's what I like about getting a new coach and getting into all of that. And that's one thing that Eberflus talked about was adaptability and being able to be able to call. He's going to be calling the plays, which I like. I think that's good. But you got to be creative, adaptability and creative, and be in change. It seems like evolving and not being stuck. And that's what I like about this is that they're not going to be like hard regimen, like this is what we're going to do,
Right.
whatever. So I'm glad that he's bringing
Absolutely.
like-minded people in, and that's who they looked for. So I like that he added that, and I thought it was important. And Washington called plays previously this year too, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I think like Washington said, he said we'll do everything that the coordinator is doing without calling the defense. So I mean, in and of itself, you got guys in there that are working, and it's not just one guy. I felt like times last year, like Eberflus really had a whole lot on his plate. I think now he's going to be able to breathe and take on that position and all the nuances of just being a head coach a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do think he'll be
Well,
able to delegate more.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't think he has to. I really believe toward after that blow up when Justin kind of just snapped and really would in so many ways he kind of put Getsy under the bus, but much needed. But
Had to,
Flus,
he should have done that.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I think Flus got more involved in the offense than he needed to as a head coach, but he had no other choice. Now he can literally just make sure that everybody is all the coaches, all the position coaches are doing what they need to do, and then he can interject where he wants to and need to. But I think he's going to really turn that defense over to Eric Washington. John Hoke is doing amazing work with the secondary. Where I can see Flus being a little more involved in the defense is that linebacking core because he's a
Okay.
former linebacker also. So I
Right.
think that's where you're going to really.
Linebacker, baby.
That's where we're going to see some things, some excitement too, far as the defense, how they use the linebackers and how they're going to be dropping more into coverage this year. Because again, once we get that three technique sold up with Javon or three technique by committee for all that matters, but I think once they get that addressed, the linebackers can really kind of move around in coverage, and they're long and they're mobile, man. It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough for opposing offenses to really try to, you know, go against us in between the numbers in the middle of the field. That's not gonna be available too much.
Yeah, and you know what else I like that's coming up too, Keith, is going to be real exciting, you guys, is that the NFL Combine is going to head up in just a few days.
I
So
can't
we're
wait.
sure to get plenty of juicy nuggets, and then early negotiation period is going to start for free agency, which opens up March 11th. So I mean, it's just going to be moving one
I'm
thing
waiting
after
for
the
that.
next.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Man, I
big.
cannot wait. I'm telling you, I cannot wait. I watch the combine every year anyway, but I'm more invested this year than ever. Because I really want to see one who's going to participate.
Yeah. You go down
These
there,
young
Q?
guys, huh?
You go down there personally, or you just
No,
watch it on
I
TV?
just man, I'm glued to the TV the whole time. That's the
You ever
best
thought
seat in the
about going?
house.
You ever thought about going down there?
Yes, I have, and I plan on it. That's on my to do list. Definitely,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I thought about it before. I just never really found anyone that's well. I mean, there's a couple guys that I know in the media that go, and it's their job, But
Right.
I think it'd be cool to get BJQ, Griff, whoever else wants to go and get a group and meet down there. Maybe not this year because it's a little a little
Yeah,
late
yeah.
to be planning this right now. But next year,
I'll be
take
Yeah,
game. Yeah,
we can
I'll be
we
game
can.
for that.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
we
for
can
sure.
definitely plan for next year.
Hell yeah.
No
yeah,
doubt.
get
Yeah.
Yeah,
Keith in there. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think I think I mean I do think that we could go all out and try and go get a Super Bowl this year, but I don't. I mean, if it doesn't work
I
out,
don't know about that.
Nah.
what's the end
I don't
game?
think
What's
that's
the
gonna
end
happen.
game if we go all out in free agency and it doesn't work out? What's the end
Well,
game at that point?
Poles
I
is
don't
not
think
going.
that's
Poles not
realistic
going to do
though.
that
I don't think
anyway.
that's
I
Yeah,
don't think
that's
realistic.
he
not
will.
posed to
I
me.
don't think he will. I'm just saying I know a lot of people think we should go do that because we have money. I just don't see it being effective for us because if it doesn't work out, we're
His
trying to
school's
get a
not
bunch
gonna
of
be
people that
erected
and
spending
we
Yeah,
don't know we're gonna make it
we
work.
can go back to
Man,
last year how he
man,
spent the money.
tell those
He's
Madden
conservative.
GMs to quiet it down.
Yeah,
That's what irritates me.
I be watching
That's
the show
definitely
over
Madden talk right
ESPN.
there.
And I'm like, y'all just want us to go spend money to spend money. Like
That's what
it's
Nah,
dumb.
irritates
that's
me
not
about
even
Bear
what
That's
they
not
fans.
did last year.
realistic.
Bear
That's not
fans don't pay attention.
you're not setting yourself up for longevity. You
See,
just setting
that's the
yourself up
problem,
for
BG.
You
That's
for
the
spot
problem. The
on
failure.
right
problem is
there,
that
BJ. You
everybody
spot
thinks
on.
that
Yeah,
Foles is going to go win right now. And
yeah.
I mean, don't be wrong. I think could we go in for agency and get the people we need to win right now? I think so, but I think that's only going to be a 3 year thing, and then we're back in the
Yeah,
same situation we already
It
in.
may just be
Right.
1 year.
it
It
don't
may
make
just be
sense.
1 year because the
Yeah,
NFL is so fast paced with
yeah.
change as far as teams changing from year in year out. I think it would be a 1 year deal.
It's a waste.
Or
Yeah.
It's
try,
a it's a waste to
yeah,
do it.
Yeah.
I
it'd
like
be a
the
Nah.
waste.
option of
No need to
No, I
longevity.
no
think
need to waste resources like that, man.
no,
No,
Yeah.
no.
just keep building
Man
it out,
literally
man.
said
I
he's
I
not going
think
to
Poles
spend
want to build a
reckless money.
team.
I
Nah, he
mean,
not. He want to
if you
build a
think
team that's
about
gonna
it,
compete for years to come. He's not going to just go for 1 2 year window. He want to be able to compete for a long stretch of time.
yeah,
Damn.
And
I'm
you
with you
do
on
that
that
through the
one, Griff.
draft.
I'm
You do
with you
that
on
through the
that.
draft. And
Down 13, fellas. Down 13. Oh boy.
That was
It's getting
quick.
ugly.
Oh
man,
damn,
okay,
they must have
that,
hit
that,
Oh,
him
that,
they,
again.
that, that's
them,
because I
them
said
threes
I'm going to use
ahead.
bullshit.
Them threes
And
ahead now.
now I'm
Them
paying
threes
for it.
ahead.
They're
My bad. I done
Them
jinxed the
threes
whole damn
ahead.
game. My fault.
they're
That's what I had
comfortable
to say.
being in the
God
play-in.
dang.
They're
I shouldn't have
comfortable
said
being in the
anything.
play-in.
I
Don't
said something
worry.
about Jason Tatum when he got 30 points in the third quarter.
Well,
So
he heard you. He heard you in the
probably did.
Which
ear.
let's get back. I want to hit you guys with this too. Going back to the draft. So remember, I mentioned we'll take that If we move down to second, we trade with Washington to that second pick, and then trade that second pick down to either. I think it's going to either be between the Giants and Atlanta at
Mhm.
8. But then there's a couple teams that's down around hovering around 12, 13, in between 12 and
Y'all heard
15
me say this last
that
week.
need to
Oh
come up to get
man.
a
Oh
quarterback
man.
too.
Say,
So that's
say,
where that ninth pick
say it.
comes
Will
into
come into
play.
play.
I
Mhm.
said that.
And you take
Yep.
That
that
that.
ninth pick, fleece
Mhm.
that for another number one pick or two. So now here we go.
You
Next
can have
year and the year
multiple
after that, we can end up with actually 3
3 years.
first round picks, brother.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah, I
can
mean,
stretch that
listen, I
out.
mean, so the avenue that Poles had, he could set draft picks up for the next 3 years. Let's
remember
be
what I
Yep.
freaking
told
real,
y'all.
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yep.
Remember what I
Or
told
he can
y'all
get all
last
the
week.
all the rookies he wants and still have draft picks for at least next year and possibly 2 years, right? Either avenue is the perfect avenue because both of them save money. Let's be real, both of them are going to save us money in the long run, rather than go out and do all the extracurricular spending that we don't need to do. I mean, if you got the tools, I mean, me personally, I think Poles is going to go get the rookies he wants and still set up for next year's draft. Yeah, I think that's what he's going to
And
do. Right?
He
and
did that
how
last year. What are you talking about? That's the same
I
thing he
agree
did
with that,
last
but
Eric.
year.
but
I
how
think he's going to
crazy could it
wholesale and
be?
kind of wholesale this draft. I think he's going to try and get as many players as he can and not wholesale this draft for next year's draft. I think that is an option. I don't think he'll do that. Obviously, there's benefit in both. I don't see him doing that though.
But how crazy could it be if, let's say, and again, we're just speculating right now,
Mm-hmm.
that he does trade back to two, Washington does go up and go get their guy at one, and then Washington ends up being the worst team in the NFL next season, and we end up with the number one pick again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my lord,
That's possible. That is very, very possible. Because I
man,
don't think Washington's
That's
going to be
never
that great
happened
next
before.
year.
Carolina.
To be honest with you, he's right because if you think about it, with the game plan that he set, if you trade the 4 to the Giants, 5 to the Chargers, or you trade to Atlanta, they might be possibly the worst teams in the league too. They might be up right behind them. So now you're talking about maybe getting a 1 and a 2
Not
with the way
Atlanta.
they
I
gonna
don't
be.
see Atlanta being. I don't see Atlanta being the worst team, but
No,
I
I
say
think that's
Washington
possible.
only because Washington really don't have any pieces.
Mhm.
You know they and they don't have any pieces right now, so it'll be tough for them. Atlanta's got some core pieces, so they can
Atlanta got a
actually
squad.
be able to compete. You know, if they
yeah, they
go,
can run the ball
but
pretty
That's
decent.
what
this
Fields
is
said. He likes the defense and he likes all the offensive weapons.
They
and
just
the
missing a
line.
quarterback.
Fields actually likes that
Well,
team.
they let go of their star. I think they let go of their star wide
They
receiver.
need another
They didn't
receiver,
re-sign him,
though.
did they?
Atlanta needs
well, they
another
got Drake
receiver.
London. They
Yeah,
got
we
Drake
said that.
Yeah,
London.
They do need
Oh well,
another.
they let Pittis go, and they is it Pittis? They let Pittis go, and they kept London.
No, you mean the tight end?
No,
Yeah.
Pitts there, but
Yeah, no, because I
Pitts is
saw him on the
there.
free agency list.
Ridley, Calvin
Pitts?
Ridley.
No, I thought I saw Pitt or their tight end on there, whoever the other guy is over the P. I don't really pay attention to the Falcons.
Pitts,
I
No,
think
Pitts was
Pitts,
hurt. Pitts
I
hurt.
thought I saw
Drafted
him
in
on
the
the
first
free agency
round
list.
2
Is he on the
years
free
ago.
agency list?
No.
No,
He
he's
came
not.
out. He
no,
came out with
no.
Justin. He came out
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Justin.
He's still on their rookie contract.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought
they,
he was
they
my
still
bad.
got him.
Yeah, so
But no,
he's
they
got
got
some
some. They
pieces.
got
He was
weapons.
pretty invisible when we played him.
Keith, I will share something with you too. I heard from Shefty. He said this, Keith. He says, when was the last time that they've talked about in the draft having a generational talent quarterback? Not that he is, but listen, play
This
devil's
man wanted to
advocate.
throw his mic at you.
Hold on. I ain't trying to poke the bear. Just hear Shefty out.
Let's talk about it.
People were worried about what we're going to get in these draft picks,
'Cause
right?
I asked this question
You
last
did.
week.
Hold on.
Okay,
Let me finish. I ain't even
I
finished
asked
yet.
this question last week.
let me zero in on this.
I ain't even finished yet.
I know.
Nobody zeroed on nothing. I ain't even got a word in.
No, I'm trying. No, I just want to make sure I hear you. I want to make sure I'm listening.
Here's the deal. How on earth can you tell us how many picks Poles is going to get when we haven't even had a generational talent person available to trade in the draft to get a bunch of picks? You cannot say that. It's been what, 10, 20 years ago? Let's see what that was the last time that went around. Like, people are throwing that word around. I think it's stupid. They don't
That's the media.
But
That's media.
generational
That's the
talent
media, man.
I said
for
that last
one,
week.
but the whole
And the
thing
Matt
is,
GM.
Well,
And the Matt
hold
GM.
on.
if I'm polls, what I'm trying to say is that I have a generational talent guy that you can come get from me, but it's going to the highest bidder and it's gonna go a lot. So we can't say, oh well, Eric can't say, well, we're gonna go get 3 firsts. No, Adam Schefter says you start with 2 firsts, maybe even 3, and then some second rounders and stuff.
Well, you know what, man? I like Adam Schefter, man, but right now I'm gonna put Adam Schefter on the shelf because and the reason why I say that is this. Truth be told, if that's the case, if we're talking about generational picks, we could talk about 2 guys, and and hear me out when I say this. It's very possible that Mr. Williams could be that guy. Very possible. We don't know. He's a prospect right now because he's still in college. But there's a guy that everybody's all of a sudden saying if he gets traded to Pittsburgh or Atlanta, they could automatically become potential Super Bowl contenders. So is it quite possible that we already have a generational pick on our team as our QB1 now? And just the fact that everybody seems to think that the guy coming out could be a generational pick and we hold that number one spot, then guess what? If you think he is, what you gonna pay for him? Come on
Yep.
up and get him. We gonna get we gonna take what you gonna give us and we're gonna try to get us a player out of it. And then we're gonna just keep we just gonna keep using the pick to get more picks, using the and just keep trading back. He
That's
could
what I
trade
just
back
said.
2 or 3 times. No, I know. I'm not disagreeing with you. But what I will say this, I think it's very possible that we could be talking about two generational guys because in my honest opinion, and I've been following JF1 since he played at Harrison High School in Georgia, in Kennesaw, Georgia, since he was in high school. The kid is nasty. If you guys and if you never saw his documentary, go watch his documentary. That will show you who this guy is, who what his true makeup is as a human
Especially
being.
for being an advocate, because half the people that I know don't even have the balls or the brass to do what that man did, and that moves the needle further than
Oh, you
football.
mean far as getting them to be able to play Big Ten ball when during the
Oh yeah.
COVID?
I'm talking about what that guy on his team on the baseball field called him, and so he put in hardship papers so he could go over to Ohio State because nobody gets away with saying that word. We're not in the freaking
Oh,
back,
okay. I'm with you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
with you.
hundreds and hundreds of years ago. That's uncalled for, man. That guy should not even be playing baseball no more. Just
True.
because I move up on the just because I move up on the batting order and you don't like it, now you're gonna slap that word on me? No, man,
Yeah.
that's not how it
And
goes.
and that's another thing nobody knows. The dude was cold in baseball.
Yeah,
He
he's a
could be
baseball
playing
player.
pro baseball too.
He
I
athlete.
just don't like the word generational talent, man. I mean, to
No,
me,
that's
I don't like it.
Mm.
My bad. I take that
I'm
back.
with you. No, I'm with you.
Position wise is different. Like you talking about when Jerry Rice was coming out of college, that's totally different. Like
Oh, we got to come back.
that's generational. I'm sorry, that's generational talent. Out of the wide receivers, out of the quarterback position, you can't tell that at the quarterback position because there's so many things that depend on him actually being a generational
Yeah,
talent.
Man,
yeah,
yes,
Exactly.
Right?
sir.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
right.
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
not
I
just
mean,
him.
he can literally come in and have a great 1 year and then fall completely off.
I mean,
Look at
I hate and I hate
RG
that
Carson
three.
word.
Wentz.
I hate that word because we're looking at it in Kansas City because no one where was like, who the hell this kid? Why? What up? And now look at him, right?
But
Like
but
nobody was
he
believing.
wasn't that dude when he was at Texas Tech. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Nope. Nope.
Mahomes
That's what
was
I'm
not
saying.
that dude at Texas Tech.
Exactly. But now we're looking at him now because other pieces make him look like that.
There
Caleb
you
Williams could
go.
come in here and not have pieces to make him look like that.
Bro, whoever you
Right.
are, I ain't waiting until 2026 for Archie Manning. We need to
Nah.
get this figured out now.
What?
Archie Manning got to get in the field in Texas first.
You're
Put
lucky
Yeah,
him
the
on
man
mute.
ain't get
he's a
such a block.
backup. He's
Put him
not even
there.
gonna
Put him
start.
on mute. Put him
He
on
can't
mute.
get. He got to get
Say
in
that.
the field
Say
first.
that again. Say that again. He got to do what?
Wait till
He got to get on the field
2026 to get
first.
Archie Manning.
He got to get on
You
the
must wait
field
for
first.
Archie Manning in
I'm down here
2026.
in Texas, man. So trust me. I see a lot of Texas football, and Arch Manning's he's got some growing to do before he become that guy.
Yeah.
A lot of growing to
He's
do.
taking a red shirt anyways. He voluntarily took a red shirt. So
I
Hey,
mean,
one thing,
I
one
think
thing,
he
he
knows.
ought
I
to.
think he
And
knows already.
he don't want to waste his
when you
eligibility
told
because
me
he's
that,
not
No,
gonna
I,
play this
when
I
you
year.
mean,
tell me
I mean,
Fields
once Quinn
played
said he
more
was
than
coming
two
back, he knew he
years
wasn't
of
going to be the
college
guy.
football,
Yeah.
I
Uh,
thought it was just 2 years of college football. You took me to school the other night and told me that it was more than 2 years of college football, right, Fields?
Yeah, he did 3.
he
Did
did
three?
three
Yeah, he did one in
It's
because
like
Georgia
a first
and two Ohio
he did
State.
one at Georgia and he did
And then
some
two
spot
Ohio
playing
State.
at Georgia
Yeah.
and then he went on and then he went ahead and jumped into the
No.
portal.
I said college. I meant high school. High school. Kennesaw. He played
He
3
actually
years,
played
right?
it. No, he played his sophomore year is when he first really got introduced to it. You know, to where he
Mhm.
really started
Three,
seeing. I mean,
3 years.
because he grew like overnight. The kid grew like overnight, but he was always bigger than most kids anyway growing up. You
What do you mean,
know,
like
so
muscle or height or all of it?
Like
Just
Anthony
brutal.
Davis, who went from
he
6'1"
was
to being
yeah,
7 feet tall.
basically all
Yeah.
of it, man. I mean, the kid
Okay.
was just bigger than a lot of the other
Yeah, he
kids,
was.
and just athletically, he was just a talent, man. And his dad played linebacker in high school and college. You know, and that's the thing too that kind of really upset me. What really got me
Yeah.
on the Justin train even more so is because his dad is a diehard Bears fan and his favorite linebacker is Mike Singletary. So when he got drafted to the Bears, man, that was a dream come true for that family.
Yeah, he's from Texas.
You know. And yeah, but I'm saying for his family, for Justin's family, when he got drafted by the Bears, man,
You're all Bears
that
fans.
was for them, man. They was like, it's a wrap. We good,
Coming
you
home.
know. But now here we got these schmoes wanting to try to run him out of town, all because. And the thing that gets me is when they sit up and talk about what they like most about Caleb, which is his off schedule throw. Oh, he throws across his body. He does all of this.
Please don't get
Dude,
me started.
They're
that's
comparing him to Patrick Mahomes, but when Patrick Mahomes was coming out of college, he was doing the same stuff, and he wasn't even on most people's radar.
But I mean, it comes back to the thing, man. When people talk about generational talent and
that's the
all this
problem
other stuff.
right
I mean,
there.
the quarterback generational talent is not based on him. It does not matter. Like, Peyton Manning wouldn't have been good if his offensive line wasn't freaking destructive. Like, let's be real. If you didn't have Reggie, and we talking about, we can go look at Tom Brady. Everyone's like, "What? Well, Tom Brady wouldn't have been Tom Brady without receivers. You could be as good as you want to come out of college, but you ain't got receivers."
You know what I love about most of Peyton
And
Manning's
didn't-
offensive line?
didn't-
They were all 6th, 7th rounders and undrafted. Don't ask me how they figured it out, but 6th, 7th rounders and undrafted, and he turned them into Pro Bowlers with all that freaking Omaha. I don't know.
That's
I
why
don't
I
know
hate
how he
when
did
people
it.
say generational talent come out of college.
And it
You
took
don't
Peyton
know.
a few
You know,
years
if you're a
to even-
generational talent, if you could do it all by yourself,
Yeah.
and I don't think anybody can.
Yeah.
You can't do that in football.
The
Oh
only
no,
guy-
hell no, no, absolutely not.
the one guy that they mentioned in that breath of generational talent, man, was Andrew Luck. And the problem with that was they didn't even bother to put an offensive line around the guy, man, to help him, stay
You never
upright.
got to see it.
Yeah.
Right.
Never got to see
The
it.
same one that got Peyton Manning freaking off the field and on a stretcher and couldn't play no more is
Right.
the same
And then,
freaking offensive line. They left Andrew Luck.
But they almost got Peyton's neck broke, man.
I'm
Yeah.
a diehard Oregon fan. Everyone said Marcus Mariota is something different. We've never seen anything like this. He's gonna be a world class this. And look what happened to him. Dude, he ain't never seen defense like what he's seen coming into the NFL. He was like, what are these defenses? People blitz? People blitz?
Even coming out of college,
People blitz? Oh my God. That's what I'm saying. Like, Caleb gonna see defense he ain't seen yet, and we calling him a generational talent. Fields, we're calling generational talent, and he's been in the league, though, right? Everybody wants him because they think he can be a generational talent, and he's been in the league and done it.
But then
We're
you
saying
have
generational
to-
talent for a guy that hasn't even touched the soil yet in the league. You can't do
Right.
that.
Yeah,
Right.
but then
No, I'm with you on that, Eric. I agree with
You
you.
do that, man. That's crazy.
So far in this thing, he been stuck with horrible coaching, man. As far as the offensive coordinator,
There's so many dependents on that word.
Coaching matters, and a lot of Bear fans don't understand that. Coaching matters.
That's a terrible word to use. It's a terrible word to use at any draft. And like I said, Jerry Rice is different. Randy Moss is different. And to be honest with you, I say this just because he's done such a great job. JJ is different. Justin Jefferson. Yeah. I mean, we ain't seen something like that for a long time. That's generational talent. Like that's crazy. Like he looks like Jerry Rice. He looks like Randy Moss. Like those everyone can agree were generational talent guys, right?
But they're doing it consistently year in year out.
Exactly.
You calling a person that hasn't stepped foot on the NFL field,
5 years in
you
the league,
can't call them
not
that.
straight out of college.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
you
just want to
can't
ask
call
a
them
question. I just wanted to ask a question. Q was talking about coaching. How did y'all get over there?
No, as far as why
no, I know, but Eric went off over there, and you were talking about coaching. How did we get over there?
Oh no, we're talking about Justin. We're talking about Justin Fields.
Hold on, let's see what he had to say about coaching. He barely had any words in the whole show. I want to hear what he had to say about coaching.
No.
That's what this show's about, coaching.
Yeah. I just think he been stuck with horrible coaching, man, and it hurt his development at the end of the day. Everybody can see it.
Horrible.
Everybody can see it. He still needs to develop. But a lot of Bear fans don't understand that. They don't understand coaching matters.
They expect the championship pedigree. And I'm sorry. And here's the thing, though. And this is what I hate. And I hate to say. And I know I talk about this guy. And I mean, I do love him. He's a great quarterback. But it's the Patrick Mahomes factor. Everyone thinks that it's possible to come in and not have any playing time and do the things that he does. That is not true. It's not true. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he also got coaching before he came in. He sat the bench before he came in. Like it wasn't just started
coached by Andy Reid.
Yeah, and they had a pretty solid team
And
already
Eric
put
Bieniemy.
together.
It's a coach. It's a coach. That's why we got on the coaching factor because it's not the same. Everyone just thinks, oh, Patrick Mahomes doing it so quick. Why can't Justin? That's Lamar Jackson doing it so quick. It's just like Justin. Well, theoretically, if we all look at Lamar, what was the biggest complaint about Lamar? The same thing people complained about Justin for. It took him what 4 years to get underfoot for that, for where he is now to be in a pocket
but
passing quarterback.
but also both of those teams had a more complete
But,
team than what the
but
Bears are
look
going
what the
through a
Ravens did.
rebuild.
And
So
damn
so
good
so
coaching.
so you're asking Justin to win games when you're expected to lose because you don't have the team that
But they
it's
did.
not the finishing product.
Look,
It's just, it's
and
the
Eric,
it's the it's the startup of the finishing product. You know, it's not the
and look
end
what
of
the
it.
How
two,
it is,
So
man. I just
and look
and that's
at
media.
those
That's media's
teams
fault
you
for making it
just
like that.
it's
mentioned.
not just
Yeah.
the media.
Yeah,
It's part of the fan base
you
too.
mentioned
The
the
part of the fan
Chiefs.
base is part of the problem too.
I mentioned what? Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah,
So you know what? I
but
Q.
you
Let
see
me
how you
ask you
mentioned
quick.
the two teams, the Chiefs and the Ravens.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No,
No,
they
Q.
go
Q.
ahead.
Let me
Sorry.
let me ask you a quick question, real quick. Q. I got to know this because I'm pro Justin, but I got to ask a question because bad coaching does not make you throw an interception. Bad
Of
coaching
course
does
not.
not make you fumble the ball. That's all protection. That's all reads. That's up here. There's
Yeah,
one thing that I know in his maturation. I want to know if this is going to work out because if it is, then that moves my needle even further on him in the right direction. I want to know when he's sitting back, Q, and it's 2nd and 9, or Keith, anybody can answer this question. And he starts to realize that every play he doesn't have to play hero ball. And if he can throw the ball out of bounds, that's all I want. I don't
yeah.
want him to save, and he doesn't. It's not even fair to put that cape on that young man's back every play. Just throw the ball out of bounds, live to play another down, and instead of third and forever, sitting out his ear hole and freaking pulling his pants up and all this stuff, and he's all dirty and everything, which
But
is the
you
worst
got
thing the offensive lineman could see. Just throw it out of bounds, and now we're at 3rd and 9 instead of
yeah.
third and forever.
No,
Do
I
you
agree with
think
you.
that he
Hundred
can get
percent.
Yeah,
around to that? Because that thing
I agree with
frustrates
that.
Yes.
me.
I agree with that. But to your point, we saw the second year he had to play. He tried to play hero ball because he saw what was around him. Basically
Yes.
nothing. So and as
Yes.
you saw this year, you saw towards the end of the year, he started going away from the hero ball and started taking the
Mm-hmm.
right, throwing it away and stuff. I completely
Yeah.
agree. I understand why he did the on his second year when they tripped
Yeah.
the team down. He had no one. It was just him. He had to. You see when they was going up, he was throwing up 30 points a game. We were still losing.
Yeah.
That was all Justin. So he
Right.
started
So,
from
so
No,
that.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Q.
100%.
And there's two things here, man, that we got to look at with regard to that. One, I do believe that through his maturation process, he will start getting that ball out and just getting throwing it out of bounds, not taking those untimely, unnecessary sacks. But this is something that we all got to understand. And this is what gets me about Bears fans. Not all of them, but the ones that are always crying and whining. The Chicago Bears has never, and I repeat, never developed anything
no,
on the offensive side of the football. We have
No.
always been known for developing players on the defensive side of the football.
Mhm.
Offensively, we have
1,000%.
never developed anything other than a running back.
Damn.
So if you look at that in its
Wow.
complete context, listen to the schmoes that keep hollering, we got to do this offensive. We got okay. They act like they know what that looks like. We've never seen it before
Right.
in a Bears uniform. Period. So now that we finally have the talent in a Bears uniform, and now we actually have this coming season, this off season, we finally have the coaching. We believe we have the coaching in the building to
Yeah.
give us what we've
Now
never
we know.
had.
Yeah, it's there.
Can we show just a tad bit of patience
Mm-hmm.
and let this develop and see what it can truly be, because I think it could be something special.
Yeah,
What
man,
about you
and
guys?
you're right,
Yeah.
and that's why I allude to looking at Lamar Jackson. Everybody was ready to throw his ass under the bus because he just couldn't get the Ravens there. He's not a pocket passing quarterback. He can't make the plays. Playing hero ball. He's running too much. That's why he's getting hurt. Blah blah. But look what they did. Look what Harbaugh and them did. They put people around him while
Built a
being
whole
Yes,
team
patient
around
with
him.
yes,
him. Okay,
yes,
right? You that's the thing. If you ain't gonna put somebody around the guy you're trying to be patient with, how is he supposed to get better?
Mm-hmm.
They went out and they said, look, we gonna go out and we can go out and get you players that you can throw the ball short and they gonna make the play happen. Not you have to throw the ball 70 yards down the field. We're gonna get
right.
you the offensive line, so you don't gotta run the ball. We can hand the ball to a running back, and you don't gotta get beat up no more. Okay, we're gonna design plays to keep you away from getting hit. We're gonna design plays for players that you can throw the ball too short and they can break tackles and get 10, 15 yards. We're gonna build around you and be patient. And we saw Lamar this year. We
Yeah.
saw what
Now,
that final maturation looks like.
yeah. Now, I will say this. You know, they should have allowed Lamar to be Lamar in that AFC
Oh, you're
Championship
right.
game.
I agree with that. I
You
do.
know,
Yeah.
I do.
then I think they tried to prove that he's that pocket passer a little too much,
Mm-hmm.
and they got away from what got them there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but had they just allowed him to just do your thing, brother, and now that we talked about it, I couldn't understand either. Why didn't we see more Odell Beckham Jr. in that game?
You're right.
I was
You're right.
wondering where
But
was he at? You
he's on
shove
the
him in the
bench.
game with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. At that point, it's too late. Where was he at?
He was healthy. I seen him dancing before the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
In the
He was
last,
getting. Hey,
when you
you know
score when
where
they
he
went
was
down,
at?
when they drove down the
I tell
field to
you where he was
score
at.
towards the
Where
end of
was
the
he at,
game,
Yeah,
Griff?
Griff.
he was catching everything.
He was over there in Trent McDuffie's doghouse. That's where he was at.
Oh,
Trent McDuffie had that boy bag probably. If you ain't see him, he was on the field.
Yeah.
mm,
That's an all
okay.
pro corner. That's an all pro corner over there. But Brandon,
But
I want to address something with you
go ahead.
about the field throwing. I totally agree with you. Just saving plays, protecting the ball. You know
Yeah,
what? I think that's a process of, first off, he's a young player. That's no excuse, but he is a young player. And when you have young players of his caliber of like athleticism, that's things that they tend to do because
playmakers.
they want to
Yeah.
exactly they want to
But it's all
always make they
you
want to
play, but it's
always make
also
a certain
offensive
play.
line play, man. It's also
Yeah.
offensive
Yeah.
line play because you
Yeah,
got
yeah, it's that too. It's that too, but it's also the coaches, the offensive coordinator in particular, put him in a bad situation.
Oh, I
You
absolutely
know,
agree.
so like
Yeah, buddy.
it's third down and one. Why are you running all deep routes? It's third down and one, and so he has to sit in the pocket waiting for these routes to develop instead of calling a quick route
Yeah,
or running the ball
it's
yeah.
it's
to
off.
get a
And,
first
and,
He
down.
got to a
and
point.
your
It's
and your
offensive
cen-
line
and
play.
your center getting bull rushed into
There you
Or
go.
your
your
lap
or your
each and
There
center
every
you go.
or
time.
your center
You
blocking your guard.
Hey,
Your
that's what I'm
center's
saying.
blocking his own
If you
teammate.
can't,
Oh
if
yeah, I see
we
that.
got, we got tackles, over here. We got tackles over here that ain't even gotten out their stance yet. And defensive ends looking at Justin like, hey, you want to just hand me the ball because I'm ready to block you.
Yep, yep.
Like our
That
tackles aren't
first
even
Lions
up and
game.
like
Yep.
they our tackle. We trying to hand the ball off and tackles looking back like this. I didn't block him. I'm sorry.
You
My
got to
bad. I
remember
get him next play though.
what they
And the
say.
next play happened.
What they
And
say
then
on
the
that
next play
podcast.
happened. And
What they
Justin
say on
on the
that
ground like
podcast,
this,
fellas.
spiking the ball.
What they
Eric, did
say on
we
that
get a new
podcast,
receiver,
right?
coach?
Yes, we did.
Did,
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
thank
good.
I
God.
like it.
Yes.
Yep.
That'll help that out, Keith. That'll help that out.
Yeah, I mean,
I
like I
like
said, a
it.
lot of people are saying that all the greatest quarterbacks, if you all look at them, they had an amazing what? They had an amazing center, and they commanded the entire offensive line. That's just how it is. The offensive line, like he said earlier, offensive line is the smartest player, the possibly smartest players on the field. But they got to come. There's so much stuff changed. That's why we got offensive
Yeah,
linemen
true.
in the front office, right? That's when maturation of a good quarterback happens. Is when your offensive line can protect you and know where your blind spots are, what your quarterback's weakness is, and go ahead and adjust to it. And
Yeah.
then your OC can adjust to it because your offensive line can adjust to it.
There it is, 124. They're
Oh
gonna
my
get
Hey,
it.
God.
hey, hey,
All
hey,
over with. The
Brandon.
game's over with.
Jason Tatum heard me. I'm sorry, guys.
Hey, Brandon. To your question about the did we get a new wide receivers coach? Not only did we get a new wide receivers coach, he used to be DJ Moore's position coach at Maryland.
Oh,
So
thank
he
you, baby.
he was his
Mm.
position coach at Maryland and
Hey,
helped DJ end up being a first round draft pick, even though it was later in the first round. But he helped him with that. But I did real quickly, if you don't mind, I'll go over some notes that I made about Chris Beatty because I was real um, curious about learning a little more about this guy.
wait, wait, wait,
First of
wait,
all,
wait, Keith. Before you get into your notes, I want to do something real quick. I'll put you
sure.
back. Hold on. Listen, guys, I want to tell you guys something. Nomad, this guy on Nomad, you think he'd be a seasonal vet that's been on that show, the Nomad Network, for years? This man's been in the building 2 weeks. You want to talk about generational talent? Keith, let's go. I got live
Oh
footage.
no, brother, no sir. We're
Let's
not going.
go.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I'm just an elder statesman,
Oh
man.
man,
You
you
know.
good, man. I love the content, man. Keep it going, buddy.
I appreciate it, man. We appreciate it over there, definitely. But
Yeah.
no, really quickly, man, with Chris Beatty, first of all, he's just been 3 years as an NFL coach. Okay? And those 3 years he was with the Chargers. 15 seasons he coached collegiately. But during the 2021 through 2023 seasons coaching with the receivers, Beatty's group led all AFC receiving corps with over 1,300 yards of receptions.
Mm.
That's in 3 years, fellas. For three
Wow.
years.
That's good.
Yeah,
And then listen
I
to
think
this.
so.
And I didn't and I
Even
didn't know
higher.
this about the Chargers because their record weren't that great this year. The
No.
Chargers ranked first in targets at 613 targets. They ranked first in targets per game, just a little over 36 targets per game. And then the Chargers also led receiving yards, ranked ninth. Well, in receiving yards, they were ninth in the league at 4,312. And they had at least four receivers with at least 500 yards receiving.
Mm, man,
So
that
development
boy's
is
showing his
in the
butt.
house.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
about
definitely
damn
got an
time.
upgrade.
So
About time.
like I said, that alone, man, really perked my ears. I'm like, okay, we got development in the house finally on the offensive side of the football. Who can't get excited about that? Now we got to do is just keep certain pieces in place, which now lead me back to a guy that I'm gonna throw at y'all that we haven't even discussed, and he's currently on the roster, where he's a free agent. What you guys think about Darnell Mooney? Will he be back? Will he
I
leave?
think he's
Or if he
fine.
come back, could he be a pivotal piece in the receiving room?
So, so I take this one first. I take this one first. Um, so to me, if Darnell Mooney can actually focus, if he can get his mind focused back on playing, I think he could be a crucial piece to the offense. I
There we
think
go.
this past year he completely just like he zoned out, like he wasn't
Yeah,
interested in
man, he
playing.
did.
Well, you know what, BJ? I agree with you on far as the focus piece. I thought maybe he might have been in his feelings because DJ became that primary target.
Hmm.
But then I also started looking at how he was being utilized in the offense. And
That's
I
true.
just think that everybody on the offensive side of the ball lost trust in Getsy and the plays that
That's
he was
weird.
calling. And then you can't have a guy, man. I mean, come on, what Mooney? What about a buck 74 soaking wet? And you asking him to go down and block linebackers? Come on, man. You can't ask that guy that small man to go down and tell him, "All right, we need you to block
Well,
on
he was
block
doing it. He was trying
linebackers."
to do it at
I
least.
mean, he
He
was
was
trying to
trying.
do it, but with that takes so much out of him. I just didn't think. I just think they all lost confidence and trust in Getsy, man, and really said, you know what, we're gonna play for Justin, and whatever come of this, man, as long as we can put some wins together. But I think they was really done with Getsy and just didn't have
Hmm.
the faith and trust in him.
Yeah,
I mean,
I can
Griff,
see that.
Griff, after 500 pass screens, wouldn't you lose some trust in him? I mean,
I mean,
good night.
absolutely.
Hell, 200 of them
I
came in
mean,
one game.
I mean,
200 of those
a guy
came in
like
one
Mooney,
game.
a guy like Mooney, my opinion on it, a guy like Mooney is you got to get him into the game early and fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You early and fast. You can't wait until the third quarter and then now we seeing the first target. He's out of the game now. You know what I mean? He's mentally out of the game. And that's not an excuse because he's a professional. He needs to be locked in at all times. But you gotta know your players. You have to know those type of things. Get him into the game early and he can have a good game.
Yeah, and I think he should have used him in the slot a lot more. I think he could have been really more
That's what I
effective in
said
the
he was
slot,
going to do.
but it was difficult to do that because EQ was hurt. Of course, we had to get rid of Claypool. But
And
look,
EQ was dropping too many passes
yeah,
too for me.
but still, you talking about a guy that's 6'4" and run a 4.340. You got to account for him on the field. Now,
Yeah.
whether he gonna
Man,
catch
he
the ball or
blocked his
not is a
ass
whole
off
different
too.
story. But you got to account for him, because if you don't account for him, then it may be just that one time when he does catch a pass.
I like EQ because he blocked his ass off on that
Yes,
perimeter.
sir.
I
I
love it.
like him.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here's
But
what I haven't addressed this elephant in the room yet, but this is what I will say.
go ahead.
This is what's got me nervous, shaking in my boots about JJ. Right about now is about the same time I started getting nervous about Roquan.
Mm.
Nah, I wouldn't get nervous
Don't get nervous.
because
You're
it's a
talking
premium,
about two
Yeah.
different
it's a
players,
premium
man.
position.
Yeah. I'm not concerned about JJ getting signed.
Me either. I'm
Look,
not either.
At the very least, I think he'll get
yeah,
franchised.
Pose
At
is
Yeah,
the
not a
very
premium.
least.
I
The
think he's
corner,
staying in Chicago
Yeah.
for sure.
the corner position is a premium position. He's a
Mm.
he's a lockdown corner. Playing, I don't care what nobody says. He takes half
Well,
the
I
field away.
Yeah,
Q, you just unlocked something because what you said earlier makes a lot of sense. To your point, Raquan wasn't really that splash play guy that got the interceptions
No,
and the sacks
yeah,
and
they
forced
said his
fumbles. He
position.
was just tackling.
Yeah, but they
He,
said Roquan. They didn't see Roquan position as a premium position.
but no,
Right.
and the reason being too, because if you look at Roquan's skill set, and actually Roquan got exposed in the AFC Championship game.
big time.
Roquan is a great pursuit and tackle linebacker,
Yep.
but if he has to get into coverage, he gets exposed. He got exposed because Kansas City put him in position where he had to cover, and each
Yep.
time he was a
Oh
step or
yeah, he
two
can't cover.
slow.
Yep. And don't get me wrong, like I was a big Roquan fan. Like if
Me
I'm
y'all
still
too.
am.
like I
I'm
I
played
still
still
am.
am.
like I played linebacker in high school. That's my position. I love the linebacker position. And you absolutely right there. That's one of his weaknesses. You can definitely take advantage of him in the passing game. And that's the reason why the coaching staff was able to make that decision about bringing in TJ Edwards and Tremaine
And,
Evans because those are
yeah,
more coverage style
And,
linebackers.
yeah.
and to piggyback off that, Dre, that's when it goes back to Pose. He got the same cost for two players who balled out for
Yep.
that one player.
Yeah.
One
Oh
That
yeah.
player.
shows right
Yep.
there what his priorities are.
Mm-hmm.
With building the team, he's going to spend. He's not going to overspend. He already told you that, and he's going to build through the
Keith,
draft.
Keith, while we have you here from Texas, tell us, bro, tell us who we have in Rashawn, please.
Who we having? Who?
Rashawn
Oh
Johnson.
man. Hey, look.
Roquan. Roquan.
First of all, I'm gonna tell you this. First of all, we got an extra leader on the field. The young man is a
That's a
natural
strong
born
boy.
leader. He used to be. He played quarterback.
Yep.
So he used to play quarterback in high
Wow.
school. And he actually, when he first came to University of Texas, he came as a quarterback, and then he
He
switched
converted on.
over to running back. He could have been a lead running back as well, but he chose not to. This kid is so intelligent, but he's a grown man in a young man's body. Okay, he's I think he's going to be a guy that's going to really help this offense out. He's a bruiser. Don't get me wrong now. He don't mind running between the tackles. He's definitely not afraid of contact, and he will knock your block off. So he's not gonna try. He'll juke you, but if you decide that you want to try to come with it, oh yeah, you better strap up because he will take that helmet off you. And he's not anybody that any safety or corner want to tackle.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Them
get
boys
So,
ain't going. They don't want
Getsy,
that work.
Getsy didn't feed him the ball enough, man. In my opinion,
Not at all.
man.
You know what,
Nope.
man? And that goes. Well, Dante Foreman.
Casey was horrible. Casey was
Dante Foreman. We
horrible
I
didn't
this
give
year.
him
mean,
the ball enough, man. You
Did
know.
we get a new
yeah,
running backs
I did not
coach?
like the. Did we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, we got a new running backs coach. Actually, we got two new running backs coach because the young lady that they just hired,
Oh
she's
yeah,
gonna be
she's the
working with the
assistant
running
running
backs.
back. Yeah,
And hey,
the assistant running
and
back.
she cold with it, man. Her
Mhm.
background, her background is tough too. We got some coaches, man. We really do have
Yeah.
some real coaches on this side of the ball. Finally, man. I'm excited, man. I really am. But Roshan is the real deal, man. He's gonna be. I think he's gonna end up being our lead back unless, depending on who we draft, because there's a couple guys that we've done a couple mock drafts, and there's a couple guys that we kind of tossed around in our mock draft that, I think if we get a running back, if we get one of these two guys, they could emerge as that number one. But I wouldn't be mad with Roshan being number one. Um, and
What about a free agent running back? Do
nah,
you think we go after a
nah,
free agent running back?
we don't need to spend no money there. No. Mm-mm.
Hey, speaking of money, look at what this guy Foster's cold with it. If this stat's actually accurate, actually for like $1 million, three starting linebackers for the price of Raquan. And Raquan was just 1.2 million, 1.3 million more. He got three. He basically got three linebackers for the price of one, bro.
Yeah.
If that's a real stat, he's playing chess right there,
Yes,
bro.
that's a chess move for sure.
Uh-huh.
Wow, that's huge.
yeah.
So
No,
yeah,
but
so
Ro-
I guess to your point,
Yeah,
Q, since he's
going
generational,
back to
and
that,
he's
Jalen
don't
Johnson. Yesterday's prices.
what's that?
Now with Jalen Johnson,
Yeah,
one thing, just yesterday's price is not today's price. Not
yeah,
at
nah,
all.
it's funny you say that, Q, because I said if Poles made any mistake, he'd have came out better
He
paying him
waited. Yep.
before the
He
season
waited too
or,
long.
or during the season. I knew once he got that second INT, I said, "Oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. He gonna have to pay the man now." But you know what? But at the same time, man, you got what you asked for. You wanted him to bet
yep,
on himself.
Hmm.
He bet on himself. He proved to you what type of player he is, and he proved to you that basically he is that foundational piece that
Yep.
you can also build around in your defense and far as your culture in your locker room. You got to pay that, man.
Got
You
to.
have to.
And you have some
whether
Bear
it be
fans still don't want to pay him today.
yeah, I think it has to be somewhere with the you have to
18
play
mil.
some
18
18
mil,
mil,
18
18
mil,
mil.
and like I say, front loaded, man. Give him most of his money guaranteed. And then you throw some kickers in there in terms of if he make the Pro Bowl again, he get an extra 500,000 here, or whatever. You can they'll be able to put together a contract, and I believe they will get a contract done. I mean, besides Poles basically put it out there at the end of the presser when he said at the post game presser that JJ ain't going nowhere. So now you got to put your money where your mouth is, Poles.
And to put
Yep.
put my mind at ease, I would like to add this that we potentially, if polls would look at giving him incentive enhanced, like performance enhanced on how many games that he plays, like starting
Yes,
because there's that
yes.
nagging shoulder injury that everybody's
Yeah.
like worried about, and is he taking plays off and not going all in on certain plays because he's worried about that shoulder, but now he went all in this year because it was a contract year, so he said forget the injury, I'm playing through no matter what. So just to put it at ease, try to do some sort of performance
And
enhanced what am I trying to say? Like kickers and
Oh,
stuff. Yeah.
the little incentive kickers, yeah. Oh,
Incentive,
absolutely.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
yeah, I need him to play at least. I need him to play greater
you
than
know my
13
favorite
games for
thing?
the season.
But if he goes down, then who's
And
your
you know
number
my
one,
favorite
Keith?
thing about him?
If he goes down, Stevenson.
Stevens. So he leapfrogs Gordon?
Well,
I don't know.
Gordon is our slot guy, but that's my favorite DB, man. I love
Mine
me some
too.
Kyler Gordon, man.
Mine
Yeah,
I
too.
he
love
is
that
the
Yeah.
cat,
best lineman
man.
in the league.
That's
Yeah.
my dude, man. But Stevenson is a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and he was
Stevenson is
only
a
a
dog,
rookie. He's
man.
only
I
gonna
love
get
how
better.
he
He's
came on
only gonna get
strong
better.
towards the end of the year. I love that how he came on strong towards the end of the year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And
And,
I
Yep.
can
and he
see
can
us.
be hit.
I can see us
But
having
he was
two.
starting to. Yeah, go ahead.
I
And
can
he
see
can
us with
hit
two or
too.
three Pro Bowlers, and just in our secondary alone. You know, now
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you who I need somebody to get in the weight room, man. My man Brisker. I love my man Brisker, but please get in the weight room, brother.
Nah,
Please.
the problem with Brisker is he be trying to take people's heads off. He ends up hurting himself too much,
He
man.
hurt himself. Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
and,
He
He be
hurt
trying.
and
He
he
himself.
be
can't.
trying
He
to.
cannot afford no more concussions either, man. That's
He be
I'm
trying.
afraid of that for him.
He be trying to lay the wood. He be trying to knock these guys out, and he end up hurting himself. And I can appreciate it though, because he be want to
Yeah,
kill
But
these
if
guys.
Briscoe could stay healthy, Briscoe could be special. He can be really special if he could
very
stay healthy.
special. Yeah,
Yep, he
yeah.
can be real special.
I appreciate him trying to knock guys out the game, but he got to relax and he got to play smart defense also, man.
Yeah, just wrap up, baby. Just wrap. You ain't.
I think this new coaching staff is gonna teach him that. I hope so at least. I
Yeah,
I
hope
do
so.
too.
he
I
be
think
trying to
so. I
take
hope
people's
so.
heads off,
And
man.
that's another thing a lot of people didn't know about Eric Williams, Eric Washington. Rather, he used to also coach DBs, so he's been a
Oh
DB coach
wow.
too. So not just defensive line, but he's also coached DBs also. So that's why I said that hire alone, man, is going to pay such dividends for that defense because he can really get involved and just not only on the technique side, man, but just talking to these guys as a professional and how they need to take care of their bodies and different things that they need to do to have some longevity in the league. And especially Brisker, man, because that kid can be ultra special if he can just remain healthy.
Keith, were you there for that Doug Plank interview?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's right. You were. Okay. So, I tell you what, when you see a guy like Gordon, it's got to be refreshing for an old cat like you that's been around, seasoned guy. You've seen all the old school hard hitting, days and stuff. And
Man.
the guy comes in like that. Another guy that kind of reminds me is Major Payne, Mike Brown, a couple of
Ooh,
those guys.
Mike Brown was my guy. And that's a guy's career who got cut short due to injuries.
Injuries, yeah, injuries hurt him big
Injuries
time.
derailed him, man. He was something special, man. But that dude, man, he would tackle a brick wall if you told him to.
Hmm.
Yeah, not Major Payne. I meant Major Wright. I
Yeah,
meant Major Wright.
Yeah, Major Wright had a lot of injuries too. I mean,
yeah.
you saw some promise in Major Wright, but injuries. He never could get back on track
No,
after
no,
his
those
injury. He never.
they derailed him also.
Yeah, he
We were
never could
talking
get back
about
on track.
coaching earlier. Q. It's real important. It's fundamental. It can make you feel like you're well equipped going into battle, and you have a game plan. And the game plan, we actually have an opportunity to win instead of feeling defeated before the game even starts. And I want to know some of those guys that we went out and got, like gadget guys, Keith, that he was a transitional edge guy that we picked up in the draft. I think his last name is Robinson, maybe, or
Dominique Robinson.
I
Yeah,
wonder if
Dominic
this,
Robinson.
playing with it, with not only the coach but also playing with Sweat, will unlock something in that guy, and he could potentially end up being like
I
an
hope so.
Adonijay for us, like a good role player.
Very
Maybe,
possible.
maybe.
Again, I think with Washington, once they get a chance to really go through the tape, go through the film, and just really break down film, and get a
Yeah,
chance to have some one-on-one and build some relationships with these guys. Just
yeah.
forget about listen. Let's forget about football. Tell me about you and who you are. How are you wired? So this way, I know more about the person. I
Wow.
believe, man. I thought that Dominique Robinson could be that guy that you would not expect for him to really be good, but emerge because with the proper coaching. But again, I just think, man, that they had so much going on, man, that he couldn't get that coaching. I would
Yeah.
like to see what happens, but I hate to say it, I don't think he's gonna make it, man.
Wow. Okay. Well,
I don't think he's gonna make it.
Yeah,
I would like because of his size and
yeah.
the fact that he, and the fact that he played he wasn't just a football kid. This kid played basketball too, so he's got some athleticism to him. But it's really going to depend on what work did he do in the off season, and when he comes back in the building for OTAs, what does he show them that they can say, you know what, we can keep this kid around, and worst case, tuck him away on the practice squad. But I think that, and then two,
it's gonna depend on the depth too. I mean, who all they bring in. If they
yeah,
bring in,
you
then
right,
if he
BJ.
falls too far down, he's not gonna get an opportunity to prove himself because he's gonna be too far down on the depth.
Yeah, and
So
that's
Yeah,
and,
you're
and that's
also
what
absolutely
depends on
that's what
that.
I mean about him not being able to make it, man. Is because I just think he won't be able to cut it on the depth chart.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah. I see that. Folks, once again, thank you for joining our show. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Follow all our great content for Chicago Sports Podcast. I want to really quick thank our sponsors, El Bandito, Yankee Tequila, smooth to the core. Go out and get your El Bandito Yankee Tequila and celebrate Chris Chelios. He's part owner of El Bandito Yankee, and he's getting ready to retire that jersey. And from what I understand, Michael Jordan's going to come out to have a nice steak dinner with him and hang out
Oh,
and watch that number 7 get retired in up in the, what do you call it, up in the rafters.
Well
Right.
deserved.
Also,
Well
yeah,
deserved.
well deserved, right? Yeah, and then also Underdog Fantasy Football. You can't forget Underdog Fantasy, man. Just hit that app up and drop your first 100. They'll match and enter the promo code CSP for Underdog Fantasy. Right now, you got NBA, hockey. There's so many different college. You can get into any of that fantasy stuff, man. It's pretty cool. I've got into it. I think Q. Did you get into that? Did you get into that app yet, or was that
no, not
Nick?
yet, not yet.
Not
I got
yet. Okay, no, but I think that was Eric. Eric got into it. I think he said he's doing good too. So I'm doing all right. It's fun because you constantly move your players. You're not locked in all the time. You know what
Oh,
I
okay.
mean? So
Check that out.
yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, that's it. And then we've got Bridges Scoreboard. We've got Worst Stadium Club. We've Serendipity Ice Cream Parlor, Budget Cars, all those sponsors. We got a couple coming up on the horizon that we're talking to, but don't really want to jinx us yet. Hopefully, something good will come out of it because they're really liking what we've had on the show, man. We're getting a lot of good talent, man. I mean, shoot, we just had some talent, and then we're actually able to and honored to bring our talent over to guys we're KeySat with, Nomad. And that was pretty cool when I was able to bring, Doug Plank over there. And that was really cool and honored to get on their show and be able to share the Hitman with them. And then we just had, what do you call it, Eric Kramer on last night. And
Yeah, nice.
Wow.
tomorrow, a college football Hall of Famer slash Chicago Bear Chris Zorich is going to be on with us tomorrow
Nice.
night. So
Really? Okay.
yes, sir.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Fun
Wow.
fact
Okay.
about Chris George: he went to my elementary school that I went to.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, Robert A.
Okay.
Black. We went to the same elementary school, not at the same time, but we went to the same elementary school.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully
That's
you can be
awesome,
on.
man.
Yeah. Hopefully you can be on tomorrow night, BJ. And
Okay.
in the near future, we just took a vote on a couple guys of a list that we were looking at, and we decided that we're going to try to bring on Dan, Wanstead and who was the other guy we
Mark Carrier.
yeah, Carrier, yeah, Mark Carrier. So we got some
Mark
good guys.
Carrier.
Yes,
No kidding. Really?
yeah,
One of
Oh
yeah.
man,
So
one of my favorites of all
he was a
time.
heck of a player
Oh,
too,
he
man.
was.
Oh my
Yes, he was.
God, man.
Safety. Yep.
Remember his rookie
yeah.
year,
Oh,
that boom
Brandon,
interception
you
game?
pulling out the
He
tricks,
pocket
brother.
You know what, man? All the glory to God, man, and all the honor. I couldn't do without him. And you guys know me; I'm spirit led, but I hustle. I mean, you could pray, but you can't pray on. You can't sit on praying hands. You gotta, faith without works is dead. You got to go out there and go get it, and that's what
Amen.
I'm all
Yeah.
about. You know what I mean?
Amen,
So
brother.
you get tired of your door knocking, you better open it and let me in, and let's get this interview going, and then I'll leave.
Right, right.
So yeah, but yeah, it's been fun. It's been an honor, and I think when Hampton gets back off the road, we're supposed to reconnect Monday, and I think we'll have him on the podcast, Dan Hampton, for about
Oh man, really?
Nice.
You gonna
15.
have
Yeah,
the dynamo on there? Oh my
the
God!
Dan. The Danama, Keith, the Danama. I might have to pull you
Yeah,
back out, man. I might have to
man,
call.
brother, you
No,
pulling out some names, man. Oh man,
Nice.
you got me going back in history now. Woo!
I might
I'm,
have to call Nomad and ask for another favor. Like,
man, brother, you about to show me, you about to make me show my age, man.
I'm gonna keep Nomad on the speed dial. I'm gonna say Nomad, Red Rover, send Keith over.
Hey, brother, I'm available anytime you want to have me, brother. And again, I want to thank you guys as well, man. It's been swell chopping it up with you guys, man. And it's refreshing, man, when you can talk with people that really know football and
Yeah,
understand football and not just throwing stuff hyperbole out there just to get clicks and followers, but
yeah,
people that's really passionate about the game of football and look at it not just from a fan standpoint, but somebody that really truly understand the game.
Gotcha.
That's what I love about it, and
Gotcha.
that's what got me into this space. It all started for me going back and forth with folks on X or slash Twitter, whatever you want to call it, you know. But no, man, it's been a pleasure this evening, fellas. It really has. And again, like I said, anytime, man, if I'm more than happy to come and jump on, man, with you guys and chop it up.
Well, you know what, Keith. Also, you could find these guys every night, or not every night. I wish they were on every night, but every Thursday night you can find Q, BJ, Pinky, and what do you call it? And Eric on Thursday. Eric's got his own show on Monday nights. BJ doubles down with him. That's a bull centric on Mondays, but Thursdays tonight is Bears heavy, so they get into all that. But we do cover all of Chicago sports. It's just that Chicago
Okay,
Bears rules the roost. You know what I mean? So
absolutely,
these guys are good. What
absolutely.
I like about BJ and Q, and you probably picked up on it right away, Keith, as well as the what do you call it? Who said earlier that they were a linebacker?
Dre.
That
Dre,
was
sorry,
good.
Dre. Yeah, Dre said all these guys have played football, so it's not like we're just talking out of our,
Exactly.
we've all played. So it's refreshing. You pick up on it, you hear it, and it makes sense, and it's a lot easier to digest. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, man. Trust me, I can't tell you how many times I've had to literally just stop a conversation with somebody because once
Oh
I
yeah.
realize that you don't know nothing about football,
Yeah.
I can't talk to you, man.
I've been stopped wasting my
I'm the same way. Yeah, I
I
I
don't
agree.
waste
cannot
my
talk
good
to you. I have
energy
to
no
shut it
more, man.
down, man, because then
Yeah.
my blood get to boiling, man. I get real passionate about it. And the west side of Chicago come out of me then,
Yeah. I
So
don't waste my good
well,
energy on that.
and that's why I was trying to tell you, like when I was coming to you as devil advocate, as Ryan Poles selling all of our draft picks, I'm like, well, look what we got behind this door. We have a generational talent QB for this draft pick. How many draft picks are you going to give me for this guy? That's how I was coming. I wasn't like saying, because I knew if it even sounded remotely close the other way, I was going to have my hands full with you, Keith. I knew. I knew, man. You better
look,
pack a
man,
lunch. He's
look,
coming
hey, look, Brandon. My lady told me. She said, look, control your face, because my facial expressions tell it all. She's like,
out.
she said, you got to control your face. I said, I got it. Because my face will tell it all. Between that, and I have to control my voice. I have to control my voice. Cause I can get fiery, man. Like I said,
Yeah,
that west side of Chicago come out me, baby, and it's a wrap.
yeah, that's a wrap. Yep, yep. Hey, man, thanks again for coming on, Keith. We appreciate you.
No problem at all, fellas. You guys take care,
Thank
okay?
you.
You
Definitely.
too, buddy.
You
All
too.
right, take care, guys.
Man, that was good to have him on, wasn't it,
Yeah,
BJ?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was great. That was great.
Dope
Yeah,
show.
and you know what, guys? It's this is like the first time we've really been able to chop it up in a while, and I love listening to you guys, and I love working with you guys. But when a guy like that is available, it's hard to not, you can't resist that. You got to bring him in the
Oh,
building because now,
absolutely.
Yeah.
and
100%.
this is what gets
Of
us
course.
better. I heard something the other day, Q, and it rings true. The guys at the top are not competing; they're comparing. The guys at the top, they're not competing against each other. they're collaborating and they're comparing. They're not comparing against each other. They're collaborating. They're looking and seeing what we can do to be better. We're not, so and that's the group. One of those groups. There's few podcasts that you guys know I listen to. Nomad is one of them. It's a really good, solid sound podcast. All the guys have played. I turned you on to the other one, but you guys probably already knew that one, the Windy City Breeze with Pat the Designer. You know what I mean? So there's a few of them. But you guys, I got to tell you guys something. I haven't been able to because we're all been busy. We live our lives. But the guys from the Windy City Breeze and a couple other groups, they say you guys are on point, man. They say we got something special in the building, and they say you guys are good. So keep it up, man.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let me see who I can. What did you guys want, Carrier, or did you guys want Wani?
Both.
Well, but I got to give Wednesday night one. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I would love to chat up with Mark Carrier, man.
Carrier? Okay. I'll give you guys Carrier, and then I'll give them Wani, and then Lord willing, I'll let them both know that we have different nights with different guys, and if they're willing to come on. Because what I do when I first bring them on, I only say like 10, 15 minutes because I don't want to overload them, BJ. You know what I mean? And that's the same way like I would approach your dad for the first time coming on. Well, the first time I actually asked your dad was like, it was live in person.
I just want to ask him about that 3 interception game against Washington, even though they lost by 1 point. But that was an amazing game from him, man. 3 interceptions.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He lost that game 10-9, man, against Washington, man. So
it was a defensive battle.
Yeah,
man, you got a good memory, Q.
Season, man.
Yeah,
I remember that. One of my favorite Bears, man. Looking forward to that.
I thought you guys were going to jump on some of those receivers, but you guys went straight for the coach and straight for Carrier, so that's cool, man.
Oh yeah. Now, I would always love to see a coach perspective on things, man, especially someone who been on the sidelines at the highest level.
I got you, bro.
That's a whole bunch of knowledge right there.
Well, I'll keep cooking, man. I'm going to try to bring you guys my best so you guys can, chop it up with them and add more content to our group and keep wowing people. Like I said, man, if it was not being said, I just wouldn't say it. But you guys are being talked about. You guys are being talked about, and you guys are being praised. This guy up here earlier, let me see who was. There was one of them. I don't even know if he might still be in here, but earlier he left a comment. I've been on their show too. We collaborate and stuff. Man, there's a lot of comments today, fellas.
It was.
Oh, your friend Witt came today, BJ.
I see.
Oh, Kid, right there, Kid. He's the one that said you guys are doing a great job, Q.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, from the Windy City Breeze. We had him on before. You guys remember we had him on, Kid. So, all right, fellas. Sorry it went over a little bit, but man, great show.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we had at one point we had 20 in the chat, which is really good, man. So we're growing little by little.
There we go. Keep it up.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. You guys have a good one.
All
right, you too.
Oh, hey. I do want to share a video with you guys real quick. Just real quick before I do the closer, and then we'll get out of here. This is a video from Mike Greenberg. Now, for the record, I do want to say that I am Team Golick. When Mike and Mike in the morning was going down, I always liked Golick because he played football. He played in the trenches. He always was talking about eating donuts and all that fun stuff. And I just liked his fresh style, his fresh look. But Greeny said something today, and it was very compelling. And I don't agree with all of it, but what I do agree about is his assessment to what Justin Fields' skill is. So let's watch this video really quick. Again, I don't own the rights to this video. This video was on the Greeny Show, so I'm going to play it.
The words you're about to hear are from an unabashed Justin Fields fan. I've loved him since college. This
What?
was brilliantly handled by him again. No one has ever unfollowed the Chicago Bears because they're tired of the talk on their timeline. Unfollowing someone gives you plausible deniability. You get to make the statement and then you get to pretend you didn't actually do anything. Let's face what's going on here. Justin is well aware he is out of Chicago. He is well aware he's not coming back. They're trading him. He's beginning the process of moving on. This is something that requires processing, and he's processing it. Remember when he came out of college, they said he couldn't process well enough? He's processing the hell out of this right now, and he is going to process himself right out of Chicago. He's going to bring plausible deniability along with him. By far, the best thing the Bears can do for him is to get him out of there as quickly as possible so he can begin the process of proving them wrong wherever he goes next, be it Atlanta, be it Pittsburgh. He's going to go there and he's going to show them, you know what? You guys didn't have the first freaking clue what to do with me when I was in your town. Now watch what I'm going to do.
Love it. It does not mean that I agree that he's leaving the building, but everything else rings true about we did not have the slightest clue, Q, as to how to help him out at all. And if he ever leaves, he's going to show us what he's made of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's called a raw deal, man. He's called a raw deal. No,
Yeah,
I've never seen. I was having a conversation with Bear fans. We've never seen a high draft first round pick go into a rebuild into his second season. His first year, he usually comes in with the rebuild. We've never seen a first round pick have to go through a rebuild.
Y'all still going.
This doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, man. I can't believe this is happening. It's crazy, Q. Why are we in purgatory, man, when we've got the guy we've wanted for years, Q? We've been praying for this guy. We've been begging for this guy, you know?
The Bears drafted Justin Fields
I get
without a plan.
both sides.
They drafted him without a plan.
Yeah.
They just drafted. They said we're gonna go out and get us a quarterback, but they had no plan for him. Even knowing that they weren't going to keep the coaching staff past that time frame.
Yeah.
They had no plan for him. They set him up for failure from the get go.
Yeah. Yep, that's it, man. So let's see what Kid has to say. Just because he looks better than what we have drafted in the past doesn't mean he was exactly what we needed. Well, I mean that could businesses make these decisions all the time. I mean, yeah, he's really good at playing. Q's good at playing devil's advocate.
He definitely is. Yeah.
He's great, man. He's very intelligent. I love listening to him. Very, very sharp guy. So, with that being said, so are you guys too, and we're gonna call it a night because we're in like quadruple overtime, guys.
I love
Celtics are on like 123 pointers now. They're like in the 300 point range or something. All right, guys, you have a good night.
All right, you too.